profiles. I created the coronation, and after creating that distinction, her hair is from behind E. Straight haircut by creating horizontal separations of hair. I started the cutting process. Friends, first of all, I cut it gradually. After creating the first E horizontal separation, I determined the length of your hair and haircut with the sharp horse cutting technique. I cut it with a straight scissor stroke, and as a second tier, again, in the hair point I cut before, I determined the length of the hair in the same way as the guide. I cut it straight. I divided the back part of the hair, or the hair, into 4 main sections. I cut the first part, and now I switched to the second part. The second part is the same to the hair point I cut before. In parallel, so E, same hair point. So I continue. And head to the cutting process, I continued and continue. As you can see here, I cut the hair straight, the back part backwards. I cut the back straight. Then I went to the side head of our customer. After setting the stop point, at the back, taking a piece of the hair point I cut the side straight in the same line. Here, the foundation of the hair will be straight at the bottom, applying the folding process to the front of the hair. Curtain bangs design. E, I will apply the haircut. Here is the hair straight after cutting the length of the hair. By creating a profile distinction, I separate it from the middle part of the hair. Bangs usually your hair. We start our process by separating it from the middle and part. Later, starting from eyebrow height, your hair, I will fold the front part. I will do the construction work. I separate the sections as you can see, and your hair E. Passing to our customer's left side while cutting the right side. E by applying an angle of 45 degrees. I'm starting the cutting process, guys. As you can see, after cutting the first operation in the second operation down to 45-degree angles, I keep cutting. As you can see here, the curtain by folding the front parts. Bangs hair design. I'm creating. I went to the other process. E here again. After cutting the left side now, I went to the right side. But by crossing the E right of our customer, I cut the left side. Here is the hair point that I cut before. E take my guide. Measure my hair from there. I start the cutting process after measuring your height. As you can see, our customer. Because I cut the right side of our customer, I went to our customer's right because I cut the left side, and the cutting process continues, folding the front parts with 45 degrees of pane. And fold the front parts. VE, I help her get a moving look. And E, as well as other process. Now the back parts and the front parts E. I also started folding the back parts and our customer E while folding. My folding process by separating slice by slice. I continue. Here I always check my guide E. First by taking my guide from the hair point I cut. Hair according to the output of the hair, creating an angle of 90 degrees. I'm folding. Here according to the structure of the hair, separating slices. I continue the cutting process. From the top of the hair, lifting upwards. Your hair is up guinea by forming a 90-degree angle. As well. Point cutting technique. I continue my process by applying point cutting technique. Yes, friends, as you can see, it was a beautiful haircut design. You also have this kind of floor. If you want to do it, come to my salon. You can get haircut service. Your social media address. It will be in the description part of my video. Reaching from there and coming to my left side, you can get a haircut service. Don't forget to like my video and subscribe to my channel. I will be with you guys with new videos. I wish you a good day. Hello, friends. Bob haircut design that stands out for you today. I will explain in detail how to do this. We will divide the hair into two main sections. Our first distinction is profile separation. Profile separation, from the middle of two eyebrows to the neck. We call the distinction profile separation. After creating a profile separation, your hair is at shoulder level first. So I'm from the left. I created an E horizontal distinction. I cut my first chmond after creating the horizontal separation. Here your neck E. And starting at the very beginning. Mackerel, sharpening cutting technique, that is, with a straight I made a distinction. Stroke. And E. Now, after cutting the left side, I went to the right side. The right side is the same, with straight scissor stroke between fingers, and sharp line cutting technique, so straight E with its blows E. I'm creating a fixed design. At the back, as you can see, the previous, following the hair point I cut. I'm creating burden, always the hair point we cut before. E as a guide. If you guide yourself, this too. E prevents you from making mistakes. As you can see here, E horizontal, diagonal, by creating distinctions, that is, because it stretches forward, by creating forward diagonal divisions. So yes, I keep cutting. Now I have divided it into the third level. After 3 separations you see, like the hair point we cut before. E guinea scanning backwards is straight. So I'm creating a cut. So here's her hair. Scanning backwards, I cut it straight. And following this in the same way. I cut by combing backwards. E guinea straight form, I continue. Here is a longer view from the back to the short front. We get. Here E, the name of this design, is fixed. So we can also call it a line. So at a fixed point, cut the hair. Towards the back, it can be short or long. When you make such a cut, the front of the hair is longer. The backs will be shorter. SO here. E forward E bob. So we can say lop because it's a long bob. E we can also say lop cut. E, yes, here, under the neck. Neither too short nor too long design, as you can see backwards here. E with sharpening exact technique. Scissors, E straight E. Somehow, scanning backwards, and between fingers. I scan, I create very clear and sharp lines. As you can see, I always follow my guide from behind. I mean, the hair point I cut before. I cut by following. Very clear. I'm going to give the hair a little texture here. From ear from the peak. I make a diagonal distinction to the back, so I'm creating a cross distinction to the back. Here behind the ear. The right side of my client. I'm going to the left because you front of the hair. I will create floors here. E as a shortness in the front part of the floor. Cheeky by aligning your bones, that is, your cheekbones. E taking a guide, so the shortest. The section starts right from the most purposeful bones and down to 45-degree angles. I'm applying a folding process. You see here, guinea after cutting it at 45-degree angles. E like hair scrolling technique. Starting from the shortest hair point, I'm sending a very light move and E after E. The ends of the hair by applying the pictus technique. Now I cut the right side, then I went to the left side. I'm going to cut the left side, but what am I doing here? My customer's E hair later. I pass to your right, and after I pass to your right, my guide from the previous hair point I cut, taking guinea, with scrolling technique, from the shortest point, E point here, point cut. By applying the point cutting technique, I continue my folding process. After cutting here, form a triangle again from the top of the hair. I make a distinction, and I take a guide to myself from left and right. Here is the hair from the hair points I cut before. E, after getting the guide, I sync according to that guide, so the hair. Here is bob stretching forward. And we have created a layered design. Yes, here. E, you see, after creating a triangle separation from the peak point line, I'm adjusting your shortness. This will be my guide. And starting from the back, I separate the hair slice by slice and guide on this apex. As you can see by following there all over, I take a guide from a peak in each slice, and in accordance with this guide, applying point cutting technique, I'm synchronizing. That is, the length of the guide at the top. Somehow only one that tall. E, I'm scanning the point towards the front of the hair exit, and after seeing my sheath extension, applying point cutting technique, I continue the haircut, as you can see from both sides. After cutting the guinea from a peak, E, guinea the same way, and as I did in the front, E, I created a horizontal separation, a triangular form on the top, appeared, and I'm scanning this peak, and the hair point one cut before, so after determining the hair length, E same size point cutting technique, that is point, with cutting technique, E, I, cut, and then I continue to the back by creating an E vertical separation again in the part of, and comb the hair in the direction of exit, and determining the hair from the shortest point on the peak, E and point, cutting technique, that is, with the point cutting technique. E. Now I continue my cutting. So let me give the hair texture here. I apply hair folding, neither too busy nor too little. After doing the folding process, E, then F-file, auger with scissors, starting from the front parts of the hair with the technique. I'm creating the auger, end parts of the hair. I apply a light thinning process. Here for a more homogeneous transition of hair. And to make the transitions more beautiful, language E piece by piece. Auger E, I twist the hair by applying a hair technique. I compress the hair and the ends of the hair. With money scissors, that is, with F-file scissors. I apply a thinning process. Here the transitions of the hair are more beautiful, and our model hair allows you to use it more comfortably. As you can see, the front of the hair is long, and the back is short and moving. That is, in two E models of lop and layered E hair design. We created a mixed design. You also like my video. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And I will be with you with new videos. I hope you like it. Thank you very much. Hope to see you. Hello friends, welcome to my channel. I'm with you with a new video. To you today, how to do blunt haircut. I will explain it in detail. First, we make profile separation. Profile separation your neck from the beginning of your forehead. We applied until the end. We call the straight line profile separation. If the second E distinction. E. Crown separation from one ear to the other. We also apply this distinction. When we apply this distinction, we divide the hair into 4 main sections. We make a straight distinction from the back again. After separating the 4 main sections, hair gradually starting from the neck, with sharp horse cutting technique. Her hair here, creating sharp lines. Create a straight cut and get a blunt look. Here with the comb 6 hair cutting technique. As you can see, comb with 6 hair cutting technique. We apply a straight cut E. Burden. We determine the length of the hair in the first level we cut. This size affects the whole course of your hair. And so this is our guide. By following this guide, we'll cut all the hair the same size. HH. If you want to watch my other videos too, my channel, I have many category videos in the videos section. Guinea comb after cutting his neck. With hair cutting technique. As you can see, using my comb as a ruler and following the previous haircut height, I continue cutting on the same plane and cut in the same way as the second stage. I'm so sorry I went to this third level. Guinea sweat left with hair cutting technique, using my comb as a ruler, using the spot where I cut my previous hair, and I continue my haircut. I continue my cutting by creating a straight line. Here, I use my comb in light color. Our hair color is darky. Comb haircut comb use is also very important. If you use a comb according to the color of the hair. Very comfortable in the cut You watch on the road. I recommend this to you as a footnote. As you can see, the hair point I cut before. Again using our comb as a ruler, we continue our haircut. Gradually separating the hair. Creating horizontal separations. And sharp horse cutting technique with straight scissor stroke. Using our comb as a ruler. We will get a blunt look. We use our comb like a ruler. And we continue our cutting. The hair color of the cut comb you used here. We stated that it should be compatible. If the hair is dark here, a light comb. If the hair is light, you can choose a dark comb. While cutting, make sure your scissors are specific. Certain scissors make clearer cuts and helps you cut hair without shredding. This is too when you cut your customer. So when the next month comes, it will tell you that your hair grows healthier. As you can see, the backstage is completely. We cut it with the first size we cut. Now we go to the left side. We will cut the sides. Here is to 2-stage chestnut hair. Here is the head of our customer first, adjusting the stance distance. And here, combing hair. As you can see, from the hair point we cut before, taking our guide. We continue our haircut from here. VE. From the first hair point we cut, following our guide. On our side. I keep cutting. After cutting the left side, the right side is also. We cut 2 stages. Our budget hair. E. I'm adjusting the stopping distance of the head of our budget. And as you can see, following our guide. We continue our cut. Here by taking the space in your ear and touching it with scissors. This is also very important. We continue our cut after receiving. Here at the bottom. After checking our guide, I keep cutting our hair point. To the front of the hair after cutting the basic length of the hair. We will earn some read, hereby creating distinctions from the line of the forehead and eyebrows. So E. By creating a separation of purchase motif. I'm creating a triangular distinction here. My eyebrows here. E from the starting end point of your eyebrows, E. Starting from 1. And our customer's E cutting section. Standing on the diagonal. I separate and we continue our cut. I'm applying 45-degree angles here. The first hair point I cut as a guide. I keep cutting, providing a nice pass in front. Here cartoon bang curtain bangs. To get a look we call. We made our distinction and we continue our cutting process. After cutting the first part, I moved to the second part. Here is our comb. I'm measuring the hair point I cut before. And the same. I cut in inches. And gradually again at 45-degree angles. I continue to cut. As you can see, we got a blunt look. All hair length with moving fronts is the same size. A Kurdish hair design. If you want to get a haircut like this, coming to my hall, by appointment, you can get the same style haircut service from me. You can get a haircut. Don't forget to like my video and subscribe to my channel. Hope to see you.
Hello to you today, haircut with cardamom. How to design, I will explain it in detail. Hair separation. We will create the sides. First profile distinction. Profile separation from the beginning of the forehead to the neck straight. Separation to dot asterisk, the distinction is Crown separation asterisk, crown separation from ear to ear. One from ear to ear, as the straight distinction we have divided. We create the second distinction. After creating these divisions asterisk, we divide our hair into 4 main sections, that is, into 4 parts, asterisk, after dividing it into 4 pieces. Your hair from behind your hair, to determine the length of the hair to form the basis asterisk A. Horizontal distinction we create and determine the length of the hair. We have determined the length of the first stage, hair level here, to sharpening cutting technique. That is, with a straight scissor stroke, 2 and E, we tilt our customer's head very little forward and the length of your hair. We determine the first stage here. We show our customer what size we will cut after deciding asterisk E straight scissors from the end of the hair start, the cutting process. This will be our guide. We will proceed in accordance with this guide asterisk, yes, I'm scanning backwards asterisk and from the hair point I cut starting from the right to the left. I'm moving with straight scissor blows too. After cutting the first stage, I divide it into stages. I create one horizontal distinction in guinea asterisk. I'm creating horizontal separations because it will be one straight cut. Friends, if there was a layered cut, I would create a vertical separation and even if it was an angle of 45 degrees asterisk, I would have to create diagonal divisions asterisk, yes, because I made a straight cut asterisk create one horizontal distinction and one I see the hair point I cut before. So after seeing my guide asterisk, I cut the back part, gradually scanning backwards in 3 pieces asterisk and yes, to the guide we cut before, following as appropriate. I continue my cutting process. Straight scissor blow here. I cut it with what we call a sharp line cutting technique asterisk. Straight scissors with one technique. I'm cutting with a blow here. I'm cutting, yes, my comb is light white. I'm using a comb dark hair asterisk. I use light colored combs on hair. Here is mine too, so it's easier when cutting hair asterisk It allows me to trade here, by the way, when cutting. Your scissors must be, it needs to be sharp one asterisk when you cut hair with scissors. Without breaking the ends of the hair, you can create clear cuts, and by breaking when the hair grows asterisk, not necessarily. Lengthen and in periods of 6 months asterisk. Don't forget to wrist your scissors. Don't forget to sharpen sharp. Scissors are always healthier asterisk. One haircut. Your client's hair grows healthier. This will return you positively. See you soon. Yes, after cutting the hair hair guinea profile distinction backwards from the face that started my forehead, 1 asterisk, I'm creating a profile distinction asterisk. So I divided the hair into 2 main sections asterisk. Here is the curtain on the front of the hair asterisk. We will create a cardamom design and starting from the backwards vertex. I make one distinction diagonal to the back. I separate the front part, that is, according to the ear level, that is, both crown separation asterisk suitable, but your crown separation asterisk separated as diagonal cross separation asterisk. And after creating this separation from the eyebrow level asterisk, purchase motive separation in the front part of the eye. I will create this purchase motive separation starting from the end of the eyebrow asterisk, from the peak to form a triangular shape asterisk. From the front part of one distinction, so as to have a triangle view, we separate, yes. The chakra is diagonal with a distinction. We will create a triangle view with distinction shis. Is the distinction we call the buying motif, asterisk here. The hair is in the curtain and bangs, usually in the middle, asterisk E, separation from the beginning of the forehead. That is, the nose we distinguish from the middle starting from the line, and after making the distinction asterisk E, your cheekbones starting from the point of decline to the front I apply folding process with 45-degree angles. I pass to the left side of my customer while cutting the right side asterisk from the left side. Because the angle will be more comfortable asterisk I applied. Cutting with diagonal divisions. Now I went to my customers right, but this time I cut the left side asterisk 45-degree. Diagonal one on the left side asterisk E by creating a distinction and scanning direction E. From right to left, one applying scanning direction I. Created the curtain cardamom design, yes, hereafter, creating the haircut as you can see from the peak. I scan upwards and from the inside out E. Your hair E like this. E. I'm checking if there is a wrong part 1, so now asterisk E back. Diagonal the E point where we are separated, the right and left sides are the same. Now asterisk E after cutting the part of my front rivet E anal motif, so yes, guinea my client's right side asterisk. I went to the left side to cut it and E. I'm doing the folding job here by creating one scanning angle from right to left E, the shortest point of hair E, your best point. After seeing your hair asterisk, I do the cutting process after seeing your short hair. As you can see here, I comb the hair at a certain angle, and after seeing the length of the hair, we see our sheath, and I even cut my hair suitable for that cover asterisk here. On the right I cut it straight, or it's suitable for the length of the hair. I cut the way so your hair, the most behind asterisk. I cut the starting point like that, as a guide asterisk now. As you can see, my customer guinea, back to front, asterisk back. Hair asterisk, I've separated. The hat somehow her hair was also front, so I divided the hair in half, or there were 2 sections left. Part 1, now E from back to front, I'm scanning and E from the point in front after scanning the bottom section, so E, the hair spot. I cut on the right E. I combine it with the hair point, so I'm scanning forward, and at the point of the hair, I cut it to fit the longest section. Asterisk. So what we call the temple point E part, at the level of your ear section length, in the hair part E. Hair point asterisk, as a guide. That is, hair length as a guide asterisk. I'm cutting it now, here again, I. Cut the left side, now you see the right side. I'm scanning for creating a diagonal distinction asterisk. I've created one distinction until the neck. I also scan this distinction forward, E. And I cut it on the left side asterisk, E take one sword from the point and check it on that sword. So equate each other, asterisk, 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 and I cut the hair I combed to the front asterisk. Here when I comb the hair forward asterisk, without losing the length on the back of the hair on the front of the hair, because we created a certain shortness, asterisk did we create the folding section. That short front sides, asterisk for cutting point section from hair when we comb backwards both. Automatically folded asterisk, and your hair is not shorter than your height, so here, according to the shortness in the front length of the hair one. We create a haircut asterisk. We comb the hair from the neck to the front, and a certain 1 point asterisk E. We cut it to this is for us, asterisk, creating one activation. Operation, the front sides are short, as we scan forward back sides are long. One view here in bob cut 2, in the bob cut stretching forward, as we did asterisk, what were we doing? They don't have a front to be long asterisk E. We were combing from front to back here, for the back of the hair to be long from back to front asterisk E. Create a fixed design so constant short, so we identified these points asterisk when we make appropriate cuts to those points behind It doesn't get shorter, and we have applied the folding process asterisk. Because we comb the hair right for ourselves and E upwards to a certain point. We are cutting, border, yes asterisk E, after cutting. Now with file scissors E by dividing it into sections. I apply, thinning the ends of the hair with file scissors. I also apply the net scissors with the Picotees technique. From the ends of the hair, E and light. Textural one, thinning, asterisk, this. Makes the hair look softer asterisk. Yes, you are also curtain bangs, asterisk layered haircut and other layered haircut designs. Bob haircut, pixie haircut, short layered haircut designs. If you want to get service, in the V, asterisk, my channel, asterisk, yes. In the description section, asterisk E, I have social media addresses by reaching my hall from there, so you can get service from me also in the description part of my video. I will have social media addresses reaching me from their haircutting service. By coming to my salon asterisk, you can get hairdressing, service moving floor, as you can see, The back of the curtain is long asterisk E. A folded hair design, without losing its form, we made the front folded E. Curtain bangs hair design, asterisk, like my video, and subscribe to my channel, asterisk, don't forget, I wish you a good day, see you.
Hello friends, today, Bob haircut design, I will explain in detail how to do this asterisk E. Hair is divided into 4 main sections. First, profile separation, then the coronation, after creating a coronation asterisk, creating 2 distinctions from the back asterisk, and we will form the basis of your profile E haircut E first. As a basis, first E, starting from the left side. I created 1 sleeveless, and in accordance with this cover I determined your hair length, and then gradually moving it upwards, both folded asterisk E. Bob haircut cut at 45-degree angles 1. I will create a bob haircut. First, I created the basic separations. As you can see, after cutting the foundation, after cutting his neck, this size asterisk, we will set as a guide asterisk 1 way in accordance with this guide. We will continue our cutting second stage. From the left side asterisk, I continue as 1 left 1 right asterisk E diagonal, 1 at an angle of 45 degrees in accordance with the sword I cut at the bottom asterisk. And I keep building floors asterisk. As you can see, I created an angle of 45 degrees. Asterisk E diagonal by asterisk. I created an angle, and it fits the sleeve at the bottom asterisk E. I continue cutting at an angle of 45 degrees asterisk. And following my cover 1 from the hair point, I cut before an E with the sharpening cutting technique. I apply the cut and graduation on the back of the hair toe, create the appearance. I'm applying a folding process asterisk, so at a 45-degree angle with cross separations asterisk E, I keep cutting asterisk, as you can see here, horizontal 1, asterisk separation process. Here I'm creating a cut here, horizontal E. As you can see here, when I cut the floors asterisk, we are completed, and the horizontal here is 45 degrees asterisk. We have created an angle. Because it is horizontal, according to output direction, then I adapt, and before asterisk, after. Seeing the hair point I cut, I keep cutting. Then 3. Asterisk, I'm going to the level. As you can see, there is also guinea eye created a diagonal 1 distinction, and I cut it, then 1 asterisk my sheath at the hair point. I cut before saw and cut on the same plane. I continued asterisk here. I came to the highest point after the 3rd level asterisk, and still the same height. I finished cutting. Now we keep on cutting asterisk after cutting the left side. The right side is also creating cross separations. So by creating diagonal distinctions asterisk, I keep making sure I created a cross separation here. I saw my hair guide that I had cut before and end in a cross way. So at a 45-degree angle asterisk, let's continue. Cutting from top to bottom asterisk, I start cutting from above. I see my guide in a cross way. I cut it and cut it after seeing the 45-degree angle, and folded to the bottom. I continue by adapting my floors. Yes, after cutting this part E asterisk, we cut the back part, guys. E, we do the height and E folding process. Then I'll go to the front E. After finishing the cut, this process after doing it, cross 1 distinction on the front. Again asterisk, I create 1 horizontal distinction, and after creating this horizontal separation, I see my guide in the back asterisk combing hair backwards in the same plane E. I cut it the same size when I scan slightly backwards asterisk. Front of the hair is a little longer. Its 1 view back part extends slightly from the back to the short front 1E. There will be hair design as you can see here. E. If you want a flatter look, if you want a blunt look horizontal in the same plane asterisk, by creating a distinction, E using the ruler on the back again, E. We can cut it straight asterisk, but if you want the front to be a little longer, asterisk scanning. Backwards E, the front of the hair is longer when you cut it. There will be 1 shorter image behind. If you apply it like this asterisk E. If the front is long and the back is short, there will be 1 image. E, when I see the point, I create a horizontal distinction and E piece by scanning backwards E with the hair point. I cut before, so I equate each other asterisk as you can. See asterisk, yes. Here again the same horizontal 45-degree angles E. I continue by preserving C. You soon, yes, I scanned it backwards here too. And after seeing the 45 lira angle asterisk, I keep making sure here to check some. I continue on the same plane asterisk. Then the peak and the floors asterisk, I make a vertical distinction in the same way asterisk. Cut it at an angle of 45 degrees asterisk. Yes, I cut from workout here I created a 45-degree deficit, and I made my cut here. You comb your hair backwards asterisk. It's more curved when we blow dry. So engraving, we will have the look hair length of our model from the front asterisk after determining the hair separation. Now E distinction to the left side. We have seen that left side separation to the front asterisk E light. 1 E. We will add texture asterisk here. After creating a diagonal end parts, little light again, I'm applying a folding process. I'm separating slices. Here, after cutting the first slice from the hair point, I cut before I'm getting an equalizing asterisk. I cut also in my 3rd slice after. Seeing my guide forward, I cut it diagonally with the scroll technique. After cutting the front part I asterisk, I'm checking and picking up the ends. Yes, asterisk, as you can see my side here. Using it as a ruler E behind the hair for a smoother image asterisk E, and I cut it with a straight scissor stroke asterisk. I will blow dry after cutting, and after the blow dry light hair, again asterisk, I will apply the personalization. Process hair here E, yes, I blow dry on the back. I'm looking again. E, I continue with the personalization. Process here is your hair at the bottom. If there are errors and protrusions, do them properly. E, I'm packing with scissors, yes, and cut the hair at an angle of 45 degrees. Again, E.1 soften the ends of the hair with the cutting technique, yes. You can also call it point cutting technique here. Cross her hair, you know. It's not vertical. It's a slight cross to Guinea E. Between the touches in the hair EE, then applying scissor blows, we soften the hard image. Yes, here asterisk vertical second stage. Vertical, 1E to the ends of the hair. E, point cutting and pectas technique asterisk E. I apply softening process asterisk with pictus. Technique on 3 parts of the scissors passing of hair. By applying softening process, we make it softer here on the back floors to get smoother transitions asterisk. Applying the pectas. Technique, we make the hair pass. Greetings. You too, if you want to make one cut like this in the description of the video asterisk. My social media addresses will be available. See you here. Reaching out with me asterisk from my social media. Addresses in the description section of my video reaching. You can come to my salon and get a haircut service. I'm working by appointment. See you soon asterisk. Yes. Appointment by reaching social media addresses. You can get Yes Bob Haircut asterisk Pixie. Haircut, layered haircut, and other hairdressing services. Asterisk, you can get Amber Retouch Honey. We also have coloring service like Brush Like Yes. As you can see here, comb I combed back, and the hair I equate with the point cutting technique. Asterisk, yes. As you can see, the front is long short back and folded. Our bob haircut service is okay asterisk. Don't forget to like my video and subscribe to my channel asterisk. See you soon.
Hello everyone, how to design pixie haircut for you today. It's done. I'll explain it in detail. Asterisk first, I created the basic separations, then asterisk now. How do I create the basic distinctions here? Starting from the eyebrow lines, triangle 1 in format 1, I made a distinction, high, asterisk we call the purchase. Motive separation this. Distinction B. Dividing the hair from the back into 2 main sections. Asterisk E. I started hair removal here by creating a horizontal separation from the neck 1E from the bottom to determine the shortness starting hair with vertical separations. Asterisk I. Start cutting at 90-degree angles, asterisk. This will be our guide. Asterisk, this shortness determines the length of your short hair after cutting the hair from the nape part after creating a horizontal separation asterisk. I cut it at 90-degree angles. Separation with vertical separations. Then I check the hair here. So is there a mistake or not? Starting from the neck, So now I continue my haircut asterisk here. E, as you can see, after cutting the nape part E to soften the ends of the hair E channel. E cutting technique. E softening the ends, and after cutting the neck join asterisk. I'm creating a vertical distinction now. This one separation at the bottom asterisk. I will combine it with the hair point I cut, 1 EI. Divided the levels and the hair asterisk with 90° angles according to the output direction I keep cutting. You see here asterisk I. Create a sharpening cutting technique like asterisk I. Cut the hair with a sharp scarf. Technique asterisk I. Comb the hair according to the exit direction of the hair at 90 degrees asterisk and asterisk I. Cut the first tier in the bottom of the hair following the hair guide. I have determined I cut the same size after cutting hair. To the top and the top combing hair. Cut asterisk I. Continued, then the other E. After cutting the step, I cut in the middle E. I created a vertical separation from the left side, again. After creating this separation asterisk, I combed the hair again at a 90° scanning angle, and I'm scanning upwards and end the hair point I cut. I see the manual and continue my cutting here. I cut with straight scissor strokes asterisk. Yes, as you can see later, asterisk 1 horizontal. I create one horizontal separation on the right and left side, and this horizontal distinction is like this, yes, with the hair guide. I cut before asterisk, I comb the hair in front of the exit and asterisk, yes, with straight scissor stroke, with sharpening cutting technique, asterisk, I. Continue my cutting process in the back. I see the guide, so I cut the previous one. I see your hair point guide asterisk first, a horizontal, asterisk. Now I cut it according to the length of the hair. Now I continue my cutting process with vertical separations. Then asterisk after cutting the point I cut at the bottom. After cutting the point I reserved upwards, asterisk I separate one level for a guinea, one level for a vertical. After separating scanning upwards, asterisk towards the exit direction of the hair point cutting technique, I keep cutting asterisk, yes. As you can see here, the purchase pattern on the front, I just didn't open the distinction, just asterisk E. The nonsense I cut before E to the two main parts I have reserved. I continue with asterisk after cutting the left side. I go to the right side, asterisk, yes, here, asterisk again, I created one distinction by creating a vertical distinction, and now asterisk upwards, II after cutting the first stage. I cut the stage by creating the vertical separation asterisk now. As you can see here from the temple, part 1, I made a distinction horizontal of horizontal asterisk after creating the distinction. The previous, from the hair point I cut, as you can see, asterisk E, your shortness, I'm checking, and I see the sheath on the hair point and E, horizontally E. I continue my cutting process. As you can see here, horizontal E, I create one cut and asterisk after this. Cut is formed asterisk. Did I leave it down, as you can see? Gets one story view and guinea with vertical separations, asterisk. I equate the top and bottom equally again, creating a vertical separation. Again, yes, my E control by creating one vertical separation and E point cutting technique, asterisk mistakes at the ends. If there are long parts, asterisk, I'm picking up and I've come to the top. I cut the bottom now. The upper part is likewise with vertical separations, asterisk E, now E, upwards again, in accordance with the brevity at the bottom, E, by cutting with dot cutting technique, asterisk that is. By cutting with point cutting technique asterisk, I continue the haircut hair here from top to bottom asterisk. I gradually cut to the point cutting technique. Here is the length of your hair. We determined asterisk. We determined this height, that is, the hair length on the nape. This paint fits in one way. We follow our guide and cut it to the same size. Yes, as you can see downwards, I continue my direct cutting process to control asterisk. I'm using the star technique here, so my slice is above starting from the top down asterisk. I cut in one step. Yes, I started from the right to the left, always checking asterisk, cutting with downward asterisk. Point cutting technique, point cut on the ends of the hair when we cut the technique, asterisk, zigzag. Zigzag E, it creates views to when you leave the hair natural E. More homogeneous, more neat, 1E, so hair scissors doesn't show your trace and provides one more natural transition asterisk. Now we're at the front of the hair asterisk. Here again I created one vertical distinction asterisk E, and the distinction here is appropriately on the back E section upwards, front part a little longer E. It will happen here at an angle of 45 degrees asterisk E. The front part asterisk, I cut it gradually with the star technique. Again, from short to long greetings, if you want to get a haircut like this, E. Social media addresses in the description part of my video available U to E short story. By going to my salon as an appointment pixie haircut, you can get the service asterisk. As you can see, we continue our haircut border. Yes, asterisk, yes. In accordance with the guide, I cut before front parts of the hair slightly too long. I'm scanning at a 90-degree 1E scanning angle again, but as a cut, I make a 45-degree cut. The front of the hair is a little longer, E to appear, asterisk. Here we will determine the separation point of your hair, E. Which direction will it divide our customer in that direction, asterisk. We will continue our folding process here. The ends of the hair I wet it again because it is thin wire. It is dry E. The hair dries very quickly, so I wet it. I continue the cutting process again, asterisk. Yes, here is our customer. E, splitting her hair to the left side. We are also our customer passing to the right, E. We continue our cutting process at one more comfortable angle from right to left with one scan angle E. Cut at 45-degree angles to the front of the hair, E. Nice asterisk. We apply folding process by providing one pass, E and I. Continue my cutting here with Picadus technique, softening the ends of the hair. I make it a better one. Pass. Our haircut is over, so now stage 2, starting from the front of the hair in a gradual way, softening the ends of the hair with net scissors and add some depth to the hair. Here, E scissors, losing your tracks, and 4 more natural one transition of hair E in to make their fall more natural one Fowler model. For more comfortable use in daily life, E apply softening to the ends of the hair. Here, with effigy shears and canal technique island softening the end parts from back to front. As you can see here, guinea I thin the ends of the hair in Pictus technique, asterisk, definitely to the bottom of the hair, asterisk, i.e. don't apply E-file scissors from the bottom. I apply the ends of the hair, starting from the neck, asterisk, again. gradually with the channel technique, thinning your hair from the neck. If you want to get a haircut like this, you can come to my salon and get a haircut service. In Istanbul, Beylikdüzü, Chung Hall. I'm working on an appointment now. If you want to make an appointment by reaching me from my social media addresses, Sue can get haircut service asterisk. My gradual thinning process continues after examining the nape part. The middle part of the hill, I came to the occult area, and here is the Guinea Canal, an asterisk. I keep thinning the ends of the hair. Then I came to the top. Here in Guinea Picas technique, the ends of the hair, I thinned guinea tips when I reach the peak asterisk E. Thinning, I continue my process after our haircut asterisk E with a nice shaping process and blow. Dry process E. Now our model's haircut design. We're done, guys. If you want a haircut like this asterisk, I need my salon. You can get service haircut service, our model, short layered pixie haircut.
Welcome back to the deep dive. If you've ever, watched a truly flawless bob haircut and just wondered how they get that perfect geometric precision, well, you're definitely in the right place today. We are doing a deep dive into the methodology for a very specific cut, the forward elongated layered bob.
Oh.
You sent over this incredibly technical guide. It treats hair less like hair and more like an architectural blueprint, really. So our mission today is to unpack all that geometry, figure out every precise measurement, angle, technique, basically how you get those long front sections while keeping the back perfectly graduated and, well, volumized correctly.
And that focus on geometry is absolutely key. This isn't just about being good with scissors. It's about systematically controlling weight, elevation, movement. The real value here is seeing how predictable results, the kind you can reproduce, they depend entirely on meticulous setup. Getting those foundational angles right. You have to respect the process, perfect divisions before you even think about cutting.
Yeah, okay, that sounds like a challenge right there. Let's start at the beginning then. Establishing the blueprint. You mentioned precision. How intense is this setup? What are these foundational divisions?
Right, so it starts at the absolute center. That's the profile separation. Perfectly straight line, running from the start of the forehead all the way down the back to the nape. That establishes your central axis. Think of it as your plumb line for balance.
Got it, the center line. But the real drama, the visual part of this cut, that happens up front, right? How do we mark that off? The part that determines the longest piece.
Ah, okay. That's defined by the triangle form. You start high at the crown, the tepia noctasa, and draw a triangular separation forward. And the source is very specific here. The base of this triangle has to extend precisely to the end of the eyebrows.
Wait, hold on. A triangle from the crown to the end of the eyebrow. That sounds, I don't know, kind of specific, maybe a bit arbitrary. Why that exact point? Is there a risk you're trying to avoid by being that precise?
It's not arbitrary at all, actually. It's all about proportion. That specific boundary makes sure the front section, the bit that frames the face later, connects properly to the side panels. If that triangle's too narrow, you lose that dramatic forward swing. Too wide,
Ah, okay.
then the whole side layer can look disconnected from the back. It messes up the transition we're aiming for. So yeah, that measurement gives you the right face framing perimeter.
That makes a lot more sense. It controls the drama, basically.
Yep. Okay, so center line check, frontal length defined by the triangle, check.
Yeah.
What's the last big separation?
The last main one is the crown separation. That's your classic ear-to-ear division. This isolates the entire front, including that triangle we just made from the back section. And that's where we actually start building the foundation. Once the front's clipped away, the back section itself gets divided again, usually into 3 main vertical sections.
Right, and the guide mentioned using the back of the comb for those vertical divisions. Can you just quickly clarify that? It sounds like a small detail, but maybe important for structure. Oh yeah, definitely. When guides mention using the back of the comb, they mean using the tool's standard width for consistency. You lay the comb flat against the head, and its width becomes your repeatable measure for drawing those next vertical lines. It just ensures those 3 back sections are perfectly symmetrical, equal width. It sounds tedious, I know,
A bit, yeah.
but it's absolutely key for controlling how the hair moves, how the graduation builds up later. Meticulous, but necessary.
Okay, so the geometry's set, the blueprint is drawn. Where do we finally pick up the scissors? Let's get into segment 2, building that foundation.
Right, the foundation work begins deep down at the nape of the neck, the ends. You start with a really precise horizontal separation, and this is where you cut your guide section, your calaveuse.
Okay, the guide. And the
Yeah.
source called the technique comb under, using straight scissor strikes. This sets the overall length, right?
Exactly. That initial length is your crucial foundation, the temel.
Mm-hmm.
But, and this is important, the very next layers are immediately cut in a graduated way, catameli.
Okay. Why, though? Couldn't you just do a blunt cut there at the bottom and then layer everything above it? Why graduate right away in that lowest section? Is it just about the shape?
This is where it gets really interesting. It's almost entirely about controlling volume, structural volume. The source is super clear on this. Cutting graduated layers right away ensures the hair distributes homogeneously, evenly. The main benefit they cite is preventing that unwanted swelling or puffiness, what the text calls kabarma, right down in those foundational lower areas.
Ah, so it stops the bob from like flaring out at the base. It forces the weight to sit nicely against the neck.
Precisely. Think of it like laying bricks carefully so the weight is distributed internally. So right after setting that initial length, the next bottom layers get layered using a slight 45-degree angle, and it's applied inwards from inside to outside. That 45-degree angle isn't random. It's our geometric constant. It defines the pitch of the layering, and that's what ensures the volume control.
That 45-degree constant.
Mhm.
Yeah, okay. Holding on to that.
Yeah.
Because now we get to segment 3, which is really the star, achieving that dramatic forward elongation. The whole point of the style is that smooth shift from the graduated, controlled back to the, well, significantly longer front.
And this brings up the core challenge, really, of this whole technique. How do you actually make hair fall forward and longer when you're working on the sides and the back sections?
Yeah, and the technique described sounds, well, completely counterintuitive.
It absolutely is.
Yeah.
First, okay, for that crucial transition from back to side,
Yeah.
you use a diagonal separation that physically isolates the pieces you need to keep longer. You use the length from the guide layer below.
Yeah.
That's prep.
Mm-hmm.
But the real magic, the structural trick, happens in the upper back and side sections.
Right, this is technique 3, the critical reverse comb.
Yeah.
The instructions literally say you comb the hair backwards away from the face, and then you cut it at that 45-degree angle.
Yep.
Okay, but why on earth would you comb hair backwards if you want it to fall forwards and be longer near the face? If I were just, winging it, I'd pull the hair forward and cut the angle that way. What's the physics here? Why cut in the opposite direction?
That is the genius of this specific method. See, if you pulled it forward and cut, you'd likely get quite strong, maybe even blunt layers right near the face.
Yeah.
It could look choppy when the hair moves. By combing it backwards, elevating it to 45 degrees, you're playing with the hair's tension and its natural release. Think about the individual strands. The hair closest to the face, the bit you want longest, it has the furthest distance to travel when you comb it all the way back, say, towards the ear area of
Yeah.
the back division line. So when you cut it at that 45-degree angle, while it's pulled back under tension, The hair near the face is only just caught by the scissors. It's stretched the most.
So, when you let go, release the tension, the hair falls back naturally, and the strands that traveled the furthest, the front ones, spring back and end up being the longest.
Precisely. It's like an optical illusion, but it's pure geometry. It's based on how far each strand is dragged before it guarantees the shape is shorter in the back and then smoothly elongates towards the front. That kazadan uzunadoru bir kavis. It creates that specific, beautiful curve that cavusly shape without making the front pieces excessively long or creating a harsh, obvious angle. It controls the slope, if that makes sense.
It does. That distinction feels crucial. The backward comb isn't just making it long, it's creating a smooth curve because you're leveraging the cut from that point of highest tension. Tension and release achieve the soft transition.
Okay, you nailed it. And the sides. They're treated very similarly to keep that flow going. The left and right side panels, you cut them following the natural fall initially, but then crucially, the higher layers, second, third layers, you take them fully, comb them backwards towards that center back line,
Backwards again.
backwards again, and cut at that same geometric 45-degree angle. This makes sure that continuous forward elongation just flows seamlessly right from the back graduation.
Okay, wow. So once that core structure is built, graduated back, reverse combed elongated sides, we're on to segment 4. Connecting the top. How do we make sure the crown layers blend everything together without wrecking that perfect curve we just built?
Good question. The final step is all about connecting that structure, specifically layering the crown area, the tepe noctasa. We actually go back to that central vertical separation we made right at the start in the front section.
Ah, the one inside the triangle.
Exactly.
And what angle do we use here to finish it off, to tie the back gradulation to the front elongation?
So you take a final vertical section right in the center of that front triangle, you lift the hair, and you cut it using our reliable constant. A final, precise 45-degree angle connecting to the length already established. This last cut just ensures you get the necessary layering right there at the crown. It blends the whole structure up and over the head, completing that layered forward elongated form. It gives you that continuous line from the shortest point at the nape right up to the longest point near the chin or jaw.
This whole deep dive has totally reframed how complex this style is, even though it can look kind of simple. Okay, so for you, the listener, let's recap the absolute core takeaways from this method. First, that 45-degree angle is just indispensable, isn't it? It's doing so much work. The basic graduation, the layering, and maybe most importantly, the volume control, preventing that puffiness down low.
Absolutely. And second, you absolutely have to remember the most counterintuitive part, which is also maybe the most essential. Combing those upper and side layers backwards.
Yeah.
The reverse direction combined with the 45-degree angle, that's the geometric trick. That's what creates the smooth, continuous forward curve, the signature elongation.
Yeah.
Without that specific tension and release,
Yeah.
you just get a shelf, not that nice soft slope.
It's definite proof, I think, that a truly perfect cut needs more than just good hands. It needs a really deep understanding of geometry and how hair actually behaves under tension.
Indeed. Which leaves us with maybe a final provocative thought for you to consider. Given how absolutely essential that 45-degree angle and the specific direction of combing are for controlling volume and shape in this particular bob, how do these basic principles, this geometry, apply to other layered cuts? Could we, just by understanding the degree of elevation and the direction we comb the hair, could we predict exactly where volume will build up or where elongation will happen in almost any layered style? Something to think about next time you're looking at a haircut, maybe.
Welcome, curious minds, to the deep dive. Today we're getting into something that looks, well, maybe simple from afar, but is actually packed with craft. We're talking about mastering the short-layered haircut. Our source is this really great video tutorial that meticulously breaks down every single move. So our mission today, it's not just listing steps. We want to really unpack the actions, reveal the artistry behind it, and maybe decode some of that technical language, because it's way more than just like grabbing scissors.
Yeah.
Right? So let's get into it. What actually goes into making a short layered haircut look so structured, yet somehow effortless?
It's fascinating, isn't it? Because that effortless look, it's completely built on precision. We're talking specific angles, really exact parts, and this whole sequence of layering techniques that are just, well, fundamental to getting the look right. It's definitely more than cutting. It's almost like engineering a style, crafting the shape where every single snip counts towards the final movement.
Right, like engineering. And I guess like any big project, you got to start with the foundations, even before you cut anything. The tutorial kicks things off by parting the hair down the middle. And it stresses this isn't just any part, it's the foundational part.
The main axis, basically.
Exactly. Then comes the profile part. For this, they make a horizontal section, starting from the crown, the high point, all the way down to the nape.
The nape being the very bottom of the hairline at the back.
Right, the back of the neck. So you have that middle part, then this
Huh.
horizontal one, that's the blueprint. They say it's got to be spot on.
And that precision right at the beginning, is it really that critical? Like, can't you adjust a bit later?
Well, that's the thing. The source implies these parts are like architectural drawings.
Okay.
If you mess up here, it echoes through the whole cut.
Yep.
It makes fixing things way harder down the line.
Yeah, that makes sense. So that perfectly straight part they mentioned isn't just stylistic, it's structurally necessary.
Absolutely. It sets the whole geometry, the balance, before any hair is even cut. It's like the stylist's compass for the whole thing.
Okay, so the blueprint's down. What's next? Moving from drawings to, like, the first actual piece.
Exactly. Building the first guide section. This is what sets the length for everything that follows. So after that profile part at the nape, they take another horizontal section, isolating just that bit of hair.
Yeah.
And then starting right in the center of that section, they make a perfectly straight cut. This cut is everything. It immediately becomes the first guide section, our first layer, essentially.
Right.
And this is where you really see the importance of having a guide. It becomes the benchmark, the reference point for all the length across the back.
So how does that work exactly? How does this one little cut manage to guide the whole rest of the haircut?
Well, the guide section is basically the first piece cut to length, right?
Uh-huh.
And then the stylist just keeps going back to it, measuring each new section against that first one.
Ah, okay. So it ensures everything flows together, stays consistent, no random short or long bits.
Precisely. It guarantees that continuity, stops it looking choppy or, disconnected.
Which is obviously crucial. So how does that play out as they move up the back of the head?
It's pretty methodical. For the second guide section, they just continue the process, literally using that first cut section as the guide to follow.
Okay, makes sense.
The technique they show is quite specific. Start in the middle, cut that second section straight, matching the guide, and then work outwards, left then right. And the tutorial specifically mentions using the finger over finger technique and sharp scissor strokes. So it's a very controlled way of holding and cutting.
Finger over finger. Can you maybe explain that a bit more? Like, what does that actually do?
Well, imagine your fingers acting like a ruler. Yeah.
Okay.
Holding the hair taut, flat, at the exact same angle as the guide section underneath. It keeps the tension really consistent.
Ah, so it stops the hair shifting around while you cut, even though hair naturally wants to move.
Exactly. It's how you ensure each new section perfectly matches the length of the one before it, keeping that layer consistent. It's like a physical trick for measuring on something that isn't static.
Got it. A way to control the uncontrollable, sort of.
Yeah, kinda. And this whole process, sectioning horizontally, starting in the middle, following the guide, finger over finger, it gets repeated. For the third horizontal part, same deal. And then the final section at the back. Always starting central, always watching that guide.
It sounds almost ritualistic. That repetition is key for uniformity across the whole back.
It really is. I mean, watching it, you realize how much precision goes in. I used to think haircuts were just, a bit of snipping here and there.
Yeah, definitely more to it than that.
So, okay, the back is meticulously layered and shaped. Now we move to the front. Right, the parts that frame the face.
Which is often what people notice first.
Totally. So how does the guide system work for the front? Is it the same?
A little different here. The tutorial says they use the starting points of the eyebrows at nose level as the reference. This helps them create a vertical part, which forms a sort of triangular shape right at the front hairline.
A triangle. Interesting. So that triangle is the guide for the face framing.
Yeah, that specific section sets the length and angle for the sides.
And how do they cut it? The video mentions something about angles.
Right, so when cutting the right side of the face, the stylist actually moves over to the client's left side.
Oh, okay, to get a better view.
Exactly. From there, they can clearly see that guide point in the triangular section. They comb the hair down and cut the layers using a 35-degree angle, working from top to bottom.
45 degrees. Why that specific angle?
Well, that 45-degree angle is what creates softness. It makes the layers cascade or blend into each other, rather than forming a hard, blunt line. It builds that movement right around the face.
Ah, so it's deliberately chosen for that softer blended effect? Makes sense.
Precisely. And then they just mirror the process for the other side, move to the client's right to cut the left side, maintaining that same 45-degree angle.
And does the angling stop there, or?
No, there's a bit more. They also apply layering from the apex.
The highest point on the head.
Yeah, the top curve. From the apex down towards the ear level and blending towards the back. They also use that 45-degree angle referencing that front section.
Wow. Okay. So it's all interconnected, flowing from that initial front guide.
It really is. It ensures the front and sides blend seamlessly into the work they did on the back. And that client positioning, moving around them, it's not just for comfort.
Right. You said it helps maintain the angle and perspective.
Yeah, ensures accuracy. Makes you wonder, like, what if they used a 90-degree angle there?
Ooh, yeah. You'd get something much more dramatic, maybe disconnected looking. Less soft, for sure.
Definitely less soft, probably quite severe.
Okay, so back foundation, check. Face frame, check. Now we're on to what the source calls the art of the crown. Sounds important.
It sounds like the most complex part, judging by the description.
It seems like it. The stylist starts by making a big U-shaped part around the crown area. And this basically divides the hair into two main zones. A top section inside the U and the bottom section outside it.
A major division, then. Probably for managing bulk and flow up there.
That sounds right. So first, they tackle layering the bottom section, the part outside the U. They create vertical parts starting from the left side. Then the hair is combed out following its natural growth direction. But here's a key difference. It's held at a 90-degree angle from the head.
90 degrees. Okay, so straight out from the scalp.
Exactly, straight out.
And that angle, what's the purpose of that specific lift?
Well, that 90-degree lift is what builds internal volume. It creates, like, hidden layers underneath that give the hair, body, and movement from within. It stops it looking flat.
So that's how they get that movable quality they keep mentioning. It's not just the visible layers.
Right, it's the internal structure. And they use the length we cut on the bottom section as my guide. So again, building on previous work.
Always referencing back.
Always. And they mention using the point cutting technique here to match the guide.
Point cutting. It's snipping into the ends, right? Not cutting straight across.
Yeah, exactly. It softens the edge, helps it blend better, gives it texture.
So it avoids any hard lines inside the layers.
Seems like it. And this whole process vertical part, comb out at 90 degrees, use the guide, point cut is repeated really carefully, strand by strand, section by section, moving left to right around that lower crown area.
That 90-degree angle is so fundamental for volume. I remember when I was learning, getting that consistent lift straight out from the head. It looks simple, but it's kind of tricky to do perfectly section after section. That's where the practice really shows.
I bet. Okay, so that's the bottom section of the crown layered for volume. What about the top section, inside the U?
This sounds even more detailed.
It is. The tutorial says the middle and top section, the crown itself, is cut in 3 main sections.
3 sections just for the top.
Wow. After dividing it vertically down the middle first, so 3 parts to handle. For the middle one of those 3, they start from the back, again using the length underneath as the guide. Comb the hair up at that 90-degree angle again, and use point cutting on the ends. But here they mention cutting it in a first and second level.
First and second level. What does that mean?
It seems like they address the back part, that middle section first, maybe for internal structure, and then refine the front part of the same section to make sure it blends smoothly whether the hair falls forward or back.
Like sculpting it in 2 passes almost.
Yeah.
Very precise.
Very. Then for the second section on the left side, they comb it upward, 90 degrees again, presumably, and use point cutting. And finally, the right side. This is also cut in 2 levels. They use the first cutting point from the middle section as the guide for the first level.
Okay, connecting it all.
Yeah. Then they comb the hair upward at 90 degrees for the second level and make the final point cuts.
The real genius there seems to be how that 3-part division and the 2-level cutting creates that perfectly blended top layer.
Right.
It's all about distributing the weight and length so carefully
Yeah.
that you avoid any, like, steps or visible lines. Everything just flows together naturally.
It prevents that blocky, heavy look you can sometimes get on top.
Exactly. It's this intricate dance of angles and layering to get that seamless, fluid result. Pretty amazing stuff.
Phew. Okay, after all that detailed layering, surely they must be done.
Almost. There's one last crucial stage, the quality check and the final styling.
Quality control. Makes sense. What do they do?
The stylist specifically says they comb the hair upward to check for any mistakes. It's like the final inspection.
Looking for any little bits sticking out?
Yeah, any small unevenness or irregularities, if they find any, they tidy them up using that point cutting technique again.
Softening those edges one last time.
Exactly, perfecting the blend. And then, once everything is perfect, comes the styling.
And how do they style it?
because the whole point was to create a movable layered cut. They blow dry it with outward movements.
Outward, to show off the layers.
Precisely. To really demonstrate that movable and layered appearance. The drying isn't just about getting it dry. It's about showcasing the result of all that work.
The grand reveal.
Pretty much. And the result. A layered, movable, short hair design has emerged.
You know, looking back at the whole process, it really puts that final blow dry into perspective.
Absolutely. It's not just drying the hair. It's the moment where all that hidden skill, every single precise cut and angle, becomes visible. It shows why the hair moves the way it does.
It reveals the architecture underneath.
Perfectly put. It turns the static cut into something dynamic and alive. Without that final styling touch, a lot of the artistry would just stay hidden.
So reflecting on this whole journey, we've gone from those foundational parts, setting guys, meticulous angles, point cutting. It reveals just how much goes into what looks like an effortless style.
It's definitely not effortless to create.
No. It shows that this kind of result isn't just about having good hair. It's a testament to incredible skill, foresight, precision. Just like in any complex craft, really.
Which brings up a bigger point, doesn't it? Beyond just this haircut, what does this deep dive show us about craft itself?
How so?
Well, it shows how these tiny, almost invisible details, the exact angle, the precise part, the type of cut, when they're executed flawlessly, they all add up. They coalesce into something singular, dynamic, and beautiful.
That's a great way to put it. It's the sum of all those tiny, perfect steps.
Exactly. It's about that power of deliberate, skilled execution making the difference, whether it's hairstyling or, building a bridge.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for joining us on this very detailed deep dive into the short layered cut. Hopefully next time you see a really great short haircut out there, you'll have a new appreciation for the hidden details, the planning, and the sheer precision that likely went into it. Until next time, keep looking closely at the crafts around you. You might just be amazed at the artistry you uncover.
Hello friends, today, blunt haircut. I will explain in detail how to do this. Our model, your hair first. We create basic distinctions. Our first basic distinction is profile separation. After creating a profile separation, we create a crown separation. And after creating the coronation, we divide the hair into four main sections. Profile separation, from the beginning of the forehead to the end of the nape. Distinction with crown separation 1. From ear to ear. From the beginning 1. Starting from ear to ear and up to the other ear. We make crown separation to the distinction we have separated. With this distinction, we divide the hair into four main sections. Then horizontal from the nape part 1. By creating a distinction from 2 parts. So neither too thick nor too much. The basis of hair after creating fine separation. We will create, so we will determine the length of the hair. Scissors. Sharpening cutting technique using like a ruler. Creating our first guide. So we determine the first height. After determining this size, we are going to the second stage guy. And in level 2, her hair is straight one way, using our comb as a ruler. Guy. With the sharpening technique, that is, with the straight scissor stroke, we keep cutting our hair. Yes. Where we took an example. Our guide so one previous cut. From the hair point we got. We continue we cut the same size. After making this cut, after the neck, we pass to the right, we create one horizontal distinction in guinea. The guide we cut from this nape part, guinea by following, using our comb as a ruler. We cut it the same size. After cutting the right side, we go to the left side. We create one horizontal distinction on the left side guy, because we will create a blunt one cut here. We continue our process by creating horizontal separations. Here again one we cut before. Comb as a length guide in the nape section. Using it like a ruler guy. We cut the left side section with the same technique. As you can see here we used our comb. And cut to the same size. Then checking guy. Between fingers. Hair with technique. We continue our cut. Then we go to the back. Again by creating one horizontal distinction. We are progressing gradually towards the top. Here are the gradual thin pieces from the neck. Taking horizontal parts. We continue our process. Bird. From the hill. As we progressed, we created one distinction to the top and Created one horizontal, one distinction from the middle part a guy. Then take one piece of the vertical, E between fingers, with holding technique. So we kept cutting our hair. Then second, E guinea. Use our comb as a ruler and remove one previous hair point. Taking the guide so one. With the hair point we cut before. We cut the same size. Here we use our comb as a ruler, seeing the hair point we cut before. We continue our process. And finally, after coming to the top, as you can see, E to pieces of pliers. Separate in the section on the back of the last connected. We scan by separating from the pliers. And comb the hair according to the natural direction of fall. From the guinea nape part, starting from the middle part, following our guide at the bottom. Our haircut. We continue. In our haircut here, one of the hair points we cut before, as a guide, and we continue our cutting as a guide. Here we use our comb as a ruler and straight one. Haircut. We take care to do. Here is the stance of our customer's head. Points are also very important. E always head of our customer. If we cut the back part, the side to the front, we cut the right side to the left. If we cut the left side to the right, by depositing, then we keep cutting. As you can see, we went to the right. I set our customer's head stand distance on the right. I used the comb with scissors and comb as a ruler. One hair point we cut before. I saw. And I analyzed and cut using it like a ruler. For later control purposes, I combed the hair according to its direction of fall. And finger-to-finger cutting technique. Is your hair wrong? By checking. I kept cutting with straight scissors blows. I went to the left. Same guinea on the left. I used my comb as a ruler. With straight scissor stroke. I continued with cutting by creating a straight line. As you can see here, according to the direction of hair fall. Again with a straight scissor stroke with the interfinger cutting technique. I continue the haircut. Cutting my hair. One hair point that I cut before as a guide. I take care to move forward. If you want to get a haircut like this, social media addresses in the description part of my video. Available by reaching here. By coming to my salon and making an appointment. You can get a haircut. Contact e-appointment from my social media addresses. You can come to my salon and get a haircut. As you can see, only one. E with straight scissor stroke with sharp line cutting technique and straight blunt one haircut with techniques. We created the desig. Here to the front of the hair. We will give light movement. So we will do the folding process. In front of you while folding. We create one distinction that we call the purchase motif. When creating this separation of purchase motif, starting from the end point of the eyebrow, we touch our comb, and the point on the top where our comb touches. We make the distinction in a triangle one way, friends. While making this distinctio, we take the end points of the eyebrow as a guide. Hair after distinctio. If I cut your right side, I'll crossing my client's left side. And the eye appeared 45 degrees in width. With angles. I'm painting from top to bottom. After cutting the right side, I go to the left side. Our customer. I pass to the right side while cutting the left side. And again at an angle of 45 degrees. I continue my folding process. If you want to have one haircut like this, you can come to my salon and get hair cutting service. Don't forget to like my video and subscribe to my channel. Thanks to you. Our videos are being watched more and more every day. we reach more people. Thank you so much for watching my videos. I'm checking here. Our process. And in the front, we will also finish our folding process. Created a clear one cut with the blunt sharp cutting technique. We are. Don't forget to like my video and subscribe to my channel. I leave you alone with a clear, beautiful one cut. Thank you so much for watching my video till the end. I do. Take good care of yourself. Hope to see you.
Hello friends, today, lightweight curtain, bangs, hair design. I will explain in detail how to do this. First, your hair is basic. I applied your distinctions. Then I cut the length of the hair. Here is your hair, E, by combing from behind while cutting the basic neck, with sharp line cutting technique by forming a straight line. In straight one cut, I cut the back part, then cutting the sides in the same way as cutting the back section. The same technique I used. E, I also applied to the E section on the left, from the hair point we cut before on the back. The guide we received. E, following on the sides. I cut them all the same size. After cutting the left side, I go to the right side in two pieces in one step, by taking one pinch from the hair point I cut before. The pinch over there is my guide, because one previous EA hair point, I cut it that size. Since it will be a guide of that size, I will cut it to the same size. I follow my guide, and we cut all the hair the same length. Our customer's E model E hair length. I apply one cut straight to medium size, starting from the front of the hair. First curtain on the front parts, and other parts of the light folded. We apply a moving haircut design. There will be no very busy floors. Front part, folding when making curtain cardamom from the finishing line of the eyebrow. E to the front part. I create a triangle one distinction by creating a purchase pattern from the end of the eyebrows to form the EE triangle in the front. By creating create a full triangle pattern. I apply folding process starting from the front part, while cutting the E section on the right. I'm going to the left. For me to capture an angle of 45 degrees more comfortably, I'm going to my customer's left, and from the left side E hair with a 45 lira combing angle. Beautiful. 1. I start the curtain frame design by folding. First I cut the right side. While cutting the right side, I pass to the left side of my customer. Here E. Diagonal to the back to create folding to the back, creating a cross distinction. Hair on the front. Scanning here, guinea cross with one scan style. Combing the hair to one single one point. Hereby creating a sharpening cutting technique, and this is in the front while scanning a certain point. I guide the first pinch we cut. After seeing the guide size here, as you can see, with a net one cutting stroke, that is, with the sharpening cutting technique, I cut and comb the hair on the front. E, because I scanned at only one point, and when I scan the front, the back sides are long. Front sides get one fold view. Her hair is too dense here. E, without folding and the length of the hair. By preserving, that is, folding the front parts of the hair, for the rear sides to provide one view without shortening. The front of the hair to a single point, that is, we cut it one ago. Curtain cardamom, E with hair length. And by applying E, scanning the front to a single point. E, I created one cutting process. And here the back parts of the hair are long, the front parts are folded. There are also flaws in the back, but there are not very dense flaws. After cutting the right side, I go to the left side. The same technique, I apply it on the left side too. So my customer. I pass to the right side of our customer while cutting the left side. And, while creating curtain bangs, comb the hair towards a certain point, and here I cut by applying one angle of 45 degrees. After providing this E again, towards the back E diagonal from the peak, so cross by creating one cross distinction up to the neck. This distinction we created, scanning to the front. After scanning, I scan to a certain point. I'm applying a 45 lira angle again, and the curtain I cut before one, cardamom hair E neck. E taking the guide so that paint. I'm scanning in one convenient way. I see my guide, and E, I do cutting with one scissor stroke. Then two, E, I take the piece 2 guinea. I scan it towards the same front part. And here I comb the hair towards a single point. Hair, E, cut point. I take it as a guide. I scan and see your shortness there. And I cut the hair. I'm cutting it to a certain point here. For scanning and creating an angle of 45 grooves from above. Fold it towards the back because I cut it from the top. And longer one view of the back side. And shortening the length of the hair. Obstructing and movable fronts folded. A long look at the back we get. If you want to get a haircut like this, my channel, a video section. You can watch our other videos. So if you want to get a haircut, social media addresses are available in the description section of my video. Reaching here, you can come to my salon and get haircutting service from me, or places in Istanbul, Beylikdüzü. Hope to see you. We will be with you with new videos. Take good care of yourself.
Hello friends, asterisk. How to make a straight light layered haircut for you today. Asterisk, I will explain it in detail first. While cutting hair, we make basic distinctions, asterisk. First, we create a profile. Separation, profile separation, from the beginning of the moment, asterisk, to the straight separation. We have separated until the end of the neck, asterisk, we say. Profile separation. This profile distinction, too. Hairs after applying, we divide it into the main section. After making the distinction, 2 pieces from the nape part, we will start our haircut by creating a horizontal separation. The first distinction will determine the basis of our hair, asterisk. So, here we determine the length of the hair while determining your height, a horizontal part. Of the middle way, create a separate vertical distinction. Cut the first piece from the ends of the hair and asterisk. He is our guide, right and left with the guide. We have separated the sections in the middle, combining creating our first line, asterisk, after creating. A first line, asterisk, that is, with a straight scissor stroke with a sharpening cutting technique. After cutting, we move to 2. Second level, the basic distinction. We have cut before E, considering the second level in the same way, same height, same plane, E, and we continue our cutting process here again, starting from the middle part, E. By following the guide we cut before, asterisk. I keep cutting your hair ends now, friends, with sharpening cutting technique, asterisk here. I comb backwards, and the eye on the ends of the hair, asterisk, I touch the scissors to get the pot ear pottin'. This is my touching move. Hair E at the E point above the ear, because of the protrusion of the ear E, can create a pot in the hair. So to catch that angle in the ear, I touch it and cut it accordingly. We went to the third level after that guinea. I scan backwards, and so as a clear line, the hair point I cut before *E. I continue to be certain by following * here. Comb the hair back for cutting on a fixed line straight backs, but the front parts of the hair will be a little longer. In this vision, a backward line when you cut always ends of hair in a fixed way. Since it is cut in this line, the front will be longer. Now the back part, after cutting *, after creating a flat cut foundation *, we will apply folding process to the front parts of the hair. * first of all. In which direction our model divides her hair * we have determined, and after making this determination, I'm creating an E coronation *, as you can see from ear level to another ear, after creating the separation, our customer's model from the point of distinction * E from the point of distinction EE, starting EE. I cut the left side of our customer *. On the right side of the client E my past. This angle is 45 degrees to create an angle and a more beautiful angle, a comfortable fall *. Go to the right side of our customer to ensure by doing this kind of 3 operation now, the hair point that I have determined, namely the neck appropriately E with scrolling technique E precision I, started and applied a folding process, cutting the right side EE to the right, after cutting the left side *E. I will pass *E, and as you can see, EI went to the left of our customer, and here, yes guinea, I determine the hair point in the same way your hair, I will cut the hair point. I cut the previous one from the hair point, and in accordance with this guide, *E, apply folding process. I apply * here the floor, is both pectus technique and DEE point front parts of the hair with scrolling technique *. I applied a folding processium, not just applying a very intense folding process here. The length and ends of your hair *, yes, a little light on the hair. To clean the fractures to accelerate tissue I'm folding, as you can see. I created a triangular separation from the top vertex both. EE from here * on the front of E as a guide, EE as a guide from points EE. I got a triangular look this triangle. View is also hair EE. E scanned by exit point vertically 90 degrees 1 * E. I applied scanning angle, cut the hair upwards, but at an angle of 45 degrees. I did the process here is the purpose of cutting your hair. E 45 degrees. Purpose * from short to long. So the peak will be long EE and previous the hair length at the hair point. I cut IE * by calculating. That is, from the previous guide I cut taking the point. I will continue my process. Oh, yes, I started later E after cutting the peak. The peak is ours EE. We had a floor point, and this floor is the point *E. It was the size of the folding process. So it became a guide by following this guide, starting from the left side. Dim with star technique separating slices E as you can. See according to the direction of hair exit, unfolding here. I comb the comb according to the direction of exit of the hair before seeing my guide on the hair point. I cut * point cutting. That is, point cutting technique. I'm applying a folding process at the end with E star technique * after cutting. Let's say after cutting comb the last hair completely upwards and then after checking *, we are finishing our process *, blow dry the hair. Here and applying light waving process with straightener. We are finishing the design of our model, friends, if you want to get a haircut like this. *, my social media address is in the description. Part of my video * by reaching me from here and coming to my hall. You can get haircuts and hairdressing services. Don't forget to like my video and subscribe to my channel asterisk. I will be with you with new videos. Hope to see you asterisk.
Hello friends, today is the curtain for you. Haircut with cardamom. How to design it, I will explain it in detail. When cutting hair, we will first create the basic distinctions. Our first basic distinction is profile separation. Profile separation. We are separated from the nose to the neck. We call straight separation profile separation. In this profile distinction, we divide the hair into two main sections. Crown separation from one ear to the other ear. We create one straight distinction. After doing this, we divide the hair into four main sections. But after dividing into four main sections, step one way from the back part, we will determine the length of the hair. We will form the basis of this hair. So we will make a layered haircut after it is determined. But first, decide what size our hair will be, and according to it, we will apply one straight cut from the back. Ear comb to the sharpening cutting technique, using 6 haircut techniques. Using the comb as a ruler, we apply one straight cutting process. After creating our first cut, this becomes our foundation. So it's our guide, in accordance with this guide. Following our same size guide, and we apply straight one cutting process. We cut the first stage and we will cut the second stage in such a gradual way. Using our comb as a ruler by creating horizontal separations, create a straight one form. In this way, our hair is fuller and we will get one more voluminous image, and we determine the length of our hair. If you want to get a haircut like this, there are social media addresses in the description section of my video. Reaching here, you can come to my salon and get hair cutting service. Our hall is in Istanbul Beylikdüzü. Hair cutting service, and other hairdressing services. If you make an appointment in the best way, I serve. We continue our model, creating the basic distinctions of our model. First we will make a straight cut, then after forming the straight cut, so after determining the size of the foundation, we will apply the folding process. By creating horizontal separations and scanning backwards single 1DC. I'm applying a straight one cutting process at the line, friends. Hereby applying the sharpening cutting technique, that is, we create one straight haircut with a blow. Later, this time our customer's hair neck head, by adapting its movement straight one, so the posture of our customer's head is also very important. When we go to the side, create a slight slope one and then hair length in accordance with the guide on the back. We continue in the same way. Right side, after cutting the left side, the right side is I apply the cutting process. After applying this process, we formed the basis of the hair. So we determined the length of the hair after determining this size. Now from the front of the hair, folding process by creating diagonal separations. We will make the distinction of hair. We are asking our customer which way to separate it from the front part. And after determining which direction you allocate it to that direction. Your hair. After determining the fall, with backward diagonal separations. 45-degree angles. We create a folding process by creating, here is the front part of the end of the eyebrow E. Forehead motif. A shape, that is, creating a triangle by creating one shape in the front. We will start our curtain cardamom application process. And then that curtain is suitable for the shortness of the cardamom. We will apply a folding process, separate in the story. The part we reserved. We decided on which direction to allocate and, by passing to the end of our customer while cutting the right side. So cross at 45-degree angles, creating distinctions from Diego, our customer, in the front. From the point where the cheekbones were found, determine the shortness, and I'm folding the front part. And I continue to cut, combing your hair in the opposite direction, and 45-degree downward angles. I started my cutting process by creating and folding process on the front. I created one diagonal backwards to apply. And my customer's hair is our customer's. Folding the front part. Scan forward to create. In the short section on the front of the hair, forming angles of 45 degrees by continuing in one convenient way. I continue my folding process. As you can see here, my cover at the bottom, I see it, and in one way suitable for its shortness. I cut it the same size, and backward diagonal, creating across one distinction, and our customer, Scanning the front. How is it when I scan the front part is folded. The back part is folding too, but from the back. Prevents layered backwards longer. And both floors at the back. Both it is obvious, and from the length of the hair on the back. No shortening in any way. We are folding, but in the back, it comes in a V shape. Our model's hair, our customer's model, and we get one fold view. And the length of our customer's hair is not gone. Of course, according to its shortness, C for cutting. And he doesn't lose his E form at one. He catches one nice form. Right side. After cutting, I cut the left side with the same technique. I continue. Key on the front. The left side is the same, by creating diagonal separations at an angle of 45 degrees to the cheekbones of your hair, remarkably short, the shortest point, and cross diagonal separations. I continue the haircut. My client, because I cut the left side, I go to the right side and combing the hair in the opposite direction. I'm folding. After cutting the front part, diagonal if back, slice to slice guinea by creating cross separations to the back. I'm scanning forward by creating the distinction. When I scan forward, the front is folded. It gets one view stretching backwards here. I see the hair spot I cut before. I'm applying my flush folding process. And guinea too. I'm going to the level guinea diagonal. I created one distinction as scanning forward. And I continue my cutting. You also like my video and subscribe to my channel. Don't forget, thanks to you, our channel is growing every day, and we have a large family thanks to you. Yes, after seeing the hair point guide we cut, I finished my cutting. We applied the folding process here, friends. 2. Now I apply the thinning process, as you can see here. Creating diagonal distinctions, creating cross divisions again, in parts. I soften it with the pictus technique, with file scissors, so that the ends of the hair are more beautiful. There is one transition on the floors. You also cover the ends of the hair with this kind of technique. You can soften. I don't use razor. I feel in hair. I apply softening and thinning with scissors. So the hair, it doesn't look like it's broken. It doesn't look like it's broken. There is no excessive thinning process, and the transition is more tremendous. One beautiful look. You are this style one. You can soften the ends of the hair with the technique. I request you, don't forget to like my video and subscribe to my channel. If you turn on notifications, in my new videos, you will be informed of my new videos. As you can see here, the clock on the left side cut the left side, the same on the right. I'm thinning. With Pictor's technique on the ends with a file scissors. I apply a thinning process. Our place is in Istanbul Beylikdüzü. If you want to get a haircut too, and the other way ombre retouch, bold hair coloring and other hairdressing services, you can make an appointment. There are social media addresses in the description section of my video. Our place is Beylikdüzü. You can easily reach. Don't forget to like my video and subscribe to my channel. And my channel, notify me of my new videos by opening the notification bell. Yes, our cutting is over. And I will show you the final version of our model. Front folded backs longer. Obtained one moving image without losing its form. We will be friends. Thank you so much for watching my video. Thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. Thank you so much for liking my video. Hope to see you with new videos. Take care of yourself.
Hello friends, today I will apply bob haircut design to you. How can I explain this in detail 1? I applied work. Here I will first create the basic distinctions. First of all, our most basic distinction is profile separation. Profile distinction. In the middle of your neck. We have separated to the end point. We call the distinction that is one straight line profile separation. I make that distinction first. Our model's hair is worn out. For us to grow healthier. This style one short bob cut. Worn sections on the ends of the top. I'm creating the second division now, the crown separation. The separation of the crown is also our comb, from the point where your back touches. I will create the distinction here. So this distinction is exactly the end of the ear. Profile separation. From the end of an ear. I'm sober until the other ear science. Again one straight line. I'm creating a crown separation. Burden. We divide the hair into 4 main sections. Now in a gradual way from the nape part. I'm going to start the haircut. Now while cutting hair. If you lean like that, it will also be harmful to your own health. That's why it is very comfortable with the help of such a wheelchair. On short haircuts in the same line, you can do this kind of work. First now while cutting hair. According to the hair color of the hair, you can also use a comb. Here in light tones 1. I choose combs in dark tones because it's hair. Here in the EE open sections, as you can see EE comb. And I can see the hair clearly. But if I used an open EE comb, I had a little trouble cutting. That's why. Well, it is important to use a comb according to the color of the hair. We lean forward of our customer's light head of our model. Now your neck is short. First create our guide. Here a little more in the shit cut. Sharp horse cutting technique for a clear cut. So I'll create a cut with a straight scissor stroke. Here I adjust the shortness to myself. And my comb. Using as ruler. I'm creating a straight line. Here I comb the hair according to the natural output drop. And my comb. There are small stones here with a machine. Now we cut our first glass. This is the length of our hair now creating horizontal separations in a gradual way. We will continue our cutting, here at an angle of 45 degrees by opening the hair. I continue my cuts. I created one horizontal distinction. Burden. By creating a horizontal one distinction in Guinea. I'm looking at the bottom of your hair. From the previous height. Checking and touching my finger on the neck. I'm creating a 45-degree angle here. And I cut the Guinea horizontally. It's horizontal 45 degrees. There is also a vertical 45 degrees. You can use both in the same way. Her hair is vertical. You can create a 45-degree angle again. Same way. You can cut it like this or you can cut it horizontally. Both in the same way. You can adapt. I look at the bottom of our hair, I see our guide. And continue my guide here. I'm touching my guinea finger by opening it here. We see our guide in our hair again from the bottom. We always act according to the guide. While cutting. Now we have passed the second stage. So we're creating a gravitation bob design here. Staggered floor. There will be one textured cut, a little more voluminous than the nape part, and it will fall off. Here the stance of our model's head is very important. At least slightly forward. Must be. Again previous haircut. I'm checking the section we've done. From the bottom. After seeing it. 45-degree angle with my little finger. By creating this angle. Your hair. Separation parallel with one grip. I see it here and I cut it. Yes. I'm scanning parallel to the separation again. I'm looking at our hair from the bottom. I see the point of the hair we cut before. Following my guide here. Again slightly diagonal at one angle of 45 degrees. I cut with angle. Shake, 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 shake. Ah. Cut to ear level up to 45 degrees. After 45 degrees. Because our angle has changed. Now. Our grip will also change. We will concentrate a little more flaws here. Yes. Take both a little and me and don't leave for sure. One more click here, one more click back. It can be from this angle. Now here I will cut by creating vertical angles. I was creating a horizontal cut before. Now that our hunger has changed. The angle after the ear level vertically. By creating distinctions. I will create. Here again, I will protect the 45-degree angle, the cut. Vertical 45. Our hair comb. I will adapt to the exit direction. I touch our comb and comb. Here is a 90-degree 1 exit angle. But what am I doing? I cut it 45 degrees as a cut. So 90-45 degrees 1. Creating a cutting angle. I continue to cut. Burden. I create a folding at a 90-degree angle. And 45-degree opening or one more. We return a homogeneous image. Here again gradually creating vertical angles. I'm touching my comb again according to the direction of hair exit. I comb it according to the bottom of the hair and the direction of exit. Scanning at one angle of 90 degrees, I cut it vertically and at an angle of 45 degrees. 45 degree inside out. Here the upper part stay longer, the bottom is shorter. What's up here? Short hair pushes long hair and more stingy. Makes it happen. Direction of hair. I create a 90-degree angle according to and when cutting. My guide from the short point of the hair 45 degrees 1. I cut with angle. Hair my comb. Touching the stream. I scan 90 degrees straight. According to the exit direction, that is, suitable for the
And
exit
after seeing the
direction
guide
of the hair.
45
degrees 1. I create and cut angle. Yes, yes. Now here is the hair part hair. Neck from the front. Guinea diagonal by creating one distinction. Cross the front part of the hair a little more. We will leave it long, so it will be transitional from short to long. That's why I'm going to the right side of the hair. And light diagonal one by creating a distinction. From the front of the hair. Here in a gradual way. According to our guide. Here is Guinea for your hair to be long in front of you. You need to create a 45-degree angle downwards. And I cut. As you can see, there was one fold that stretched slightly forward. Ha. Ha. Here it is equally light. Cross the front like this. Diagonal one distinction forward. Here I comb your hair in parallel with the separation. Neither right nor left hair. Let's say T-shape here, T distinction. I see my guide here. I'm creating a 45-degree angle again. Curve down and cutting. As you can see, the front is a little longer. Now I'm at the top here. I'm creating a vertical distinction in Guinea. You may not cut it in one go like this, me too. I take it once. Because the directions of the hair exit direction are different. Here now. We touch our skin with your hair. And the exit direction here is 90 degrees 1. I'm creating an angle and here. The guide we cut. And in accordance with this guide, I'm cutting. Because the end and end parts of it are a little short. I cut it too short. If it's long, the hair is still. Creating an angle of 45 degrees so you can cut it here. But I'm to pick up the fractures on the ends. According to your hair length, he still takes the fractures on the ends without breaking it. Again in a gradual way. In 2 pieces. No? According to the structure of the hair by creating slice distinctions here, we create a cut. Hair distribution is better than that. I touch the bottom of my comb and 90 degrees according to the exit direction of my comb. Scanning angle and again. Hair from the point I cut the longest. This guide continues my guide. And take a piece to your manual. Same way according to the structure of the hair. To B. I touch the bottom of my comb and according to the exit place. Scanning angle by creating a 90-degree deficit and after seeing the guide, I'm cutting. God bless. Here we scan the upper parts. Now here is my head. The head of our model is very important. Angle now we give back a little bit. And we give it sideways. Then. And scanning now. By checking Guinea with a comb. Our comb needs to touch the neck. Because by getting support here. Not to be crooked. After seeing this guide. According to our guide, cross our hair comb a little more. A little more in front of you. We will make it long. And we do our cutting process. Slightly curved forward as you can see. I'm coming to the right. In the same way, the stance of our model. I adapt the same way. And here, combing from top to bottom. I touch my comb to the neck without pressing too much. And as you can see from this part. After seeing my guide. I'm cutting. One design stretching forward as you can see here. Bulky back. Now the part we cut from the top. First after forming the neck, a little bit to the here part. That's why we'll make movement. We take this section. A distinction we call horseshoe. by creating. Starting from this part. Starting from the section we call hat separation. I make a distinction with add none. We can also call this a distinction. From the top. It's in the form of U, so it looks like a mistake. If you want the front part of the hair to be long here again, you can create an upward angle of 45 degrees. Like this. Thing right angle with 90-degree angle right angle. And a 45-degree angle with a scanning angle and a cutting angle. As here section. Gradual shape again. I cut it in one piece because the hair is short here. If the hair is long, you can cut it in at least 3 pieces. Because even if you cut it in one piece, the hair will be too short. So you cut it gradually in 3 pieces. The front part falls even longer. Hair here, on the end sides, to balance worn sections. I cut. After doing this, we will apply a thinning process. Hair. In those extreme parts. To soften hard transitions. Lightweight. Fashion show scissors with intermediate scissors. Again in a gradual way. Thinning hair. While thinning here, neither from the bottom nor from the ends, your hair is light like this. You can thin the hair starting from the short middle part. If you take it from the bottom, the hair will swell a lot this time. My hair is usually always. Of course it depends on the length of the hair, here more from the end. We will apply. So the middle part. Straight if you want. If you want, also in a cross way. You can create. Like this. One, two, three. Yes, our design is like this. I will show you the latest version of the blow dryer. Lightweight layer gravitation. Our bob haircut. You also use these techniques. You can cut. Yes, don't forget to like my video and subscribe to my channel. Thanks.
How to do a medium blunt haircut for you today. I will explain in detail. I'm creating the first profile separation your hair. From the middle part, starting up to the nape part. The straight separation we have separated, we say profile separation. Then I create a crown separation. Crown separation from one ear to one straight with the other ear. We say crown separation, friends. After creating this distinction, we divide the hair into 4 main sections. Then starting a haircut. One straight that I have separated from the nape part to the oxygen area. There is one horizontal distinction. I make this distinction and cut the length of the hair. The size I will cut here is our guide. And the basic length of the hair, 2 after friends cut this length. Using our comb as a ruler. 1 of our previous hair length as a guide. I cut the back part of the same size. The basic size we cut in this size. Aligning all levels, creating horizontal separation. We continue your haircut. Here properly comb our comb. I comb the hair according to the natural direction of fall of the hair. Sharp horse cutting technique. Using our comb as a ruler, specific one, by guiding the hair point we cut before. Straight our hair 1, we cut on line. After cutting the back, the left and right sides are the same. We will equal the hair length we cut on the back. If you want to get a haircut like this, social media in the description part of the video, my addresses will be available. By reaching my hall from there, you can get haircut service and other hairdressing services. Our place is in Istanbul, Beylikdüzü. By appointment, you can come to my salon and get a haircut service. Here, after cutting the back part of our hair length, I come to the left side of the hair and the other part I reserved. In 2 levels. The hair size we cut on the back as a guide. The left side is also flat 1. I cut it into a line. And straight 1 view to sharp line cutting technique. To get, I apply 1 straight cut. After cutting this section in 2 stages. After cutting the left side section, I go to the right side. I'm cutting this place in 2 stages. Stage 1. Cutting helps the hair to disperse more homogeneously. And it helps the hair to get a better 1 look. Here again, between fingers. Applying straight and sharp line cutting technique. With straight scissor strokes. One, I cut the previous point as a guide. Front of the hair. I separated it from the eyebrow levels to accelerate the tissue. In the front, from the eyebrow level with our comb from the eye point of two eyebrows E.
Tarağımızla
By creating a purchase motif.
oluşturarak
Front of the
saçın ön
hair.
kısmına
I give
doku
texture and to get a
kazandırıyor ve
folded one
katlı
look.
bir görünüm elde etmesi için
With
45
45-degree
açılar
angles,
ile
I'm
saç
applying a
kesimi
haircut.
uyguluyorum.
With these
Bu 45
45-degree
açılarla
angles, I
saçın
apply
ön
folding
kısımlarına
process to the front
katlandırma
parts of the
işlemi
hair
uyguluyorum ve
and helps
daha
it look more
hareketli
mobile.
görünmesine yardımcı oluyor.
This is
Bu da
100 lines of hair,
saçın
100
yüz
lines,
hatlarına, yüz hattının sert
softening hard
köşelerini
corners,
yumuşatarak
helps to
daha
get more oval
oval
one
bir
image.
görüntü elde etmesine yardımcı oluyor.
You are the
Sizler de
style
bu
one.
tarz bir saç
If you
kesimi
want to get a
yaptırmak
haircut,
isterseniz
in the
videomun
description part of
açıklama
my
kısmındaki
video, you can
sosyal
reach me
medya
on my social media
adreslerinden bana
addresses.
ulaşabilirsiniz.
You can get
Salona
a
direkt
haircut
saç
service by
kesim
going to my
hizmeti
salon.
alabilirsiniz.
Don't forget to
Videomu
like my
beğenmeyi
video and
ve
subscribe to my
kanalıma
channel.
abone olmayı unutmayın.
I will be
Yeni
with you
videolarla
with new
sizlerle
videos.
olacağım.
Hope to see
Görüşmek
you.
dileğiyle.
Hello friends, welcome to my channel. To you today, how to make a blunt bob haircut. I will explain it in detail. I will create the basic distinctions first. Our first distinction is profile separation. After creating my profile distinction, also as the second distinction, I will create a crown separation. Profile separation. My forehead present from the beginning. The distinction we have divided to the neck. At the coronation. Comb again. We put it on the crown of your forehead. And from the point where our comb's back touches a crown separation to the distinction we have separated, that is, 1. From ear to ear. A fixed one. The distinction we have separated as a line is called the crown separation. Here the crown separation the front and back of the hair. Separating two main sections. Profile separation also divides the hair in half, so here we divide the hair into 4 basic E sections. We divide it into 4 basic parts. After dividing it into 4 basic parts in one step, we will apply a haircut to separate it in a gradual way. I'm starting and I'll cut it gradually. Here our first level will be the dye of our model's hair. We will apply one straight haircut. So create a blunt haircut, comb 6 for applying it. So we apply the technique of sharp ablution. That is, we also apply it with a straight scissor stroke. There will be one straight haircut. Here, E, I will use one angle of 0 degrees. So I use my comb as a ruler. Without creating any angle. There will be one haircut suitable for the direction of hair fall. I make our model tilt its head very slightly forward. And here, first, setting our guide, as you can see, without opening the neck too much. And with sharp horse cutting technique, that is, with straight scissor stroke. I'm cutting the first part. Then left side, then right side. This is the first hair I cut. I equate with paint. This hair will be tall, guys. This will be our guide. All in accordance with this guide, we will cut the hair length to the same length. This is our guide, this hair length. We are going to the second stage, as we can see, second stage hair length. I will equal the hair length we cut in the first stage. As you can see here, I reserved the first part. I comb your hair downwards according to the natural combing direction. I tilt our customer's head very slightly forward and, using my comb as a ruler 1, with the hair length I cut before, equalizing in the same way. So here I use my comb like a ruler. I align and cut with a straight scissor stroke. Here is the sharpening cutting technique, also named Guinea. I'm separating the first piece from the second floor. This one is the same as the hair size we cut before. I use my comb like a ruler and cut it. But here in every hair I cut, our customer's hair, I make your head tilt slightly forward. Because when it bends too little forward, the angle there makes the hair straighter. And when he gives back, you cut it straight in a blunt way. You can make a mistake there. It has to bend down 1 click. Because when he bends things, it doesn't reveal the little hair at the bottom either. This time, when the customer tilts his head forward, the bottom is like this. One section appears at the bottom, like this protrusion. It's also annoying. You will have to cut again. As you can see, we went to the third stage of the back part. Third stage at the bottom one. The hair point we cut before, Guinea in the same way. I keep cutting the same size. In these straight cuts, you can use the same technique. Here only, blunt 1 model here because your hair is short, Blunt straight 1 haircut, design. Here the length of the whole hair is all equal length. Blunt because it will be the same size. Straight blunt haircut. I'm doing the design. Right side, one with the hair point I cut before. Our guide is the same size. Our customer after cutting. I tilt the head of our model to the slightly front part and use my comb as a ruler. One with the hair size I cut before. I say equal here by using my comb as a ruler. I comb the natural fall of the hair correctly without any mistakes. In the same way as the hair point I appeared. I continue my cut by equalizing. I'm asking you here. Don't forget to like my video and subscribe to my channel. Your thoughts too. I would be very pleased if you specify in the comments section of my video. Yes, after cutting the back. We go to the left side of our customer. Guinea head of our customer. Tilting to the right. After bending, behind the ear, before you get over the ear bulge, I divided it into the middle of the ear as you can see, and some behind the ear. I equalized the hair length on the back there. And the next one above the ear as you can see in the front. Here we equate the ear bulge. And we make one straight cut. If you scan it directly without calculating the ear bulge, and if you cut it straight, when you blow dry, when it dries, the protrusion of the ear appears, and straight one cut does not appear. and please the height of the ear to the top. Prevents hair from being straight at the bottom. So from the middle, right at ear level, to the back of your ear, you take one hair apart and straight from that hair. From the guide we have determined on the back, we cut our hair, and the rest in the front. We equalize the hair from there. And the same in the second level. From the hair point, we cut a donut. We cut it in line. Our customer's hair, stance, angle is very important here. We don't cut straight. We tilt our customer's hair a little and cut it like that. After cutting the left side, we go to the right again in the same way. Our customer's hair length without cutting the first. He light his head, a little according to the posture direction of the hair. We tilt, and after tilting, just like I cut it on the left side, we continue our haircut here. Guinea, you are also like this one. Haircut. And if you want to have other haircut models, I have social media customs in the description part of my video. From here, by reaching me on social media addresses and coming to my hall. Haircut coloring, retouching keratin hair care, balayage haircut, and other hairdressing services. You can get service. You can come to my hall and get service. I'm working with appointment. Morning, 10, evening, 6. I can make an appointment between hours. Our place is in Beylikdüzü. After doing my contours here, on the right side and on the left side, I apply my contours and light hair on the front. I'll add some movement, so I'll do some folding on the front. Here, while adjusting the front part, as you can see again from the forehead point of the hair 1, I'm creating a profile distinction. I'm dividing the hair in half. And here, from the eyebrow line, front part 1, forehead motif, by creating the distinction, i.e. triangle 1. I make a distinction. After creating this triangular separation, important feature of triangular separation, right and left T. From the section, because we got it from the eyebrow line, right side and left side. Part 2, intensely taking one way, the right side and the left side. Only from the front without emptying too much. From the part where your forehead is because we make one distinction from the section where the forehead is. A slightly beautiful one movement in the front. And my forager bangs are one point where we can fold. It's okay, I'm creating one nice distinction there too. I cut the right side of our customer. I pass the breadth of our customer I'm adjusting the angle here much better. And as you can see here, your hair is short. After remembering the short point. For cutting by determining my angle. I provide one nice transition from short to long. After cutting the right side, I go to the left side. The left side is the same. I get one guide from the hair point I cut before. And here in my comb, because it's numbered so suddenly. Like a ruler until 20. So when I measure what size I cut and take one click on the left side and get the same size. At the same time, I'm cutting from the same point as you can see, so we have created a millimetric 1 design here. It's neither short nor too long, I cut it in the same short. And that shortness too, guinea the same way. One distinction from left to right. E, by creating, so I'm scanning. And I see the hair point and I keep cutting. You too with the join button of my channel. Well, I would be very pleased if you want to support my channel. Thanks to you, my channel is getting bigger every day. And we became a big family. Our 229,000 subscribers. So thanks to valuable people like you, our audience's time is growing. People who don't subscribe to my video, 97-100 are watching. I request you, when you watch my video, if you subscribe to my channel and turn on notifications, you will be informed of my new videos. You will watch my new videos without interruption. Friends, make sure to turn on the notification bell of my video, and be aware of my newly published videos. And when you subscribe to my channel, you are also aware of my other videos. And if you want to watch my other different videos, my channel, video section is available from there. Video section. I have 757 videos. I have videos in many categories. You can watch them too. We have come to the end of our haircut, friends. Flat blonde, as you can see. Right in the OMSI field without opening the neck too much. Sheet. We have created a haircut design. You are this style one. If you want to get a haircut, I'm in Beylikdüzü by contacting me on my social media addresses. Coming to my hall. Haircut from me. You can get coloring and other hairdressing services. I'm working on an appointment. I love you. Hope to see you. Take care of yourself.
Hello. Friends, today you have a layered haircut curtain bangs. Hair design. I will explain in detail how the process is done. When starting haircut first 4, we create the basic distinction. We will divide the hair into 4 main sections. I create the first profile separation. Then I create a coronation. And when he starts to cut the hair from the back, in a gradual way. First, by creating horizontal separations. Our name. We start here. We will determine the basis of the first hair and the length of the hair. Our first goal will be to determine the length of the hair. Here, they decide what size the hair is in our customer. And I get the broken hair without too short. A very short haircut in curtain cardamom and layered haircut. It's better not to have more layers in long hair. Gets one more beautiful look on hair. So curtain cardamom on very extremely short layered hair. No, it looks better on long hair. Cutting hair length. 2 is a sheath from the first hair point we cut. I'm separating the tier, creating horizontal separations here, between fingers, to the sharpening cutting technique, that is, with a straight scissor stroke. I continue the cutting process. 2 after cutting the first step. As you can see, the same way here. 1 as hair, the point I cut before. I continue the cutting process, same size. I continue my cutting process in the same direction. I cut the third stage in the same way. Friends straight one way. Hair on the back 4. The back and front are separate because I'm instantly divided into my section. I created a coronation in the sections. As you can see, ear crown separation 1 ear. The straight distinction that we are separated from the line and the other ear. We say we create a crown separation. Here after cutting the back part. Same height again. Crown on the left side of the hair. In the distinction section, her hair guinea is in 2 stages. I continue my cutting process. While cutting the hair here, the bottom one we cut before. Part as guide. I continue to process. After cutting the left side, we go to the right side. And I cut the right side in the same way. Back 1 pinch from the black part as a guide. And we continue our same length haircut. So here is the basic. We continue our cutting process by aligning the hair length. While cutting the right and left part, the stance of our customer's head is very important. Our customer's head slightly to the left while cutting the right side. Reclining. Lean slightly to the right side while cutting the left side. So cycle, so. Lying on your side. We will continue our cutting after that. This angle is very important, guys. Now profile her hair in half. Your hair after creating the distinction. Beginning the folding process from the front, that is, the curtain. Cardamom laying process. We start from the front to start front part by creating the separation of the purchase motif, i.e. triangle 1 by. We create the distinction. Triangle separation is also eyebrow. We touch our comb from the end of the eyebrows and from the point it touched from the peak. Triangle 1 way. I make a distinction. When cutting right and left after creating separation, when I cut the right side, I go to my customer's left and do the cutting process. Here, as you can see, my client, I cut the left side and went to the right side. Let's say I'm doing operation over cheekbones. Short and long, you decide for yourself. But your cheekbones, if you do the cutting process from the bottom, outward moving, one view, it gets one image that is better to get. I'm on the left side of our customer. I'm on the right, I'm cutting the left side. While cutting, I'm applying a 45-degree angle according to the angle, friends. So her hair, I'm scanning towards the exit direction of the hair, and I cut it at an angle of 45 degrees. Then, I'm going to level 2, guys. After cutting the front part, now starting from the top to the back, diagonal 1 distinction. I'm creating and forward, in one way suitable for the short section on the front. Friends from the bottom. I see my guide after seeing my guide. Yes, as you can see here, I'm scanning 45 degrees. I see it at the bottom. I see the hair spot I cut before, as you can see here. And I continue the cutting process. Distinctions I slice by slice and forward wound combing forward. And scan them all to the front. And the hair point I cut before, I cut it the same size after seeing it. The back is longer when we scan forward. The front part is folded, friends. The haircut point here, I adjust it according to the shortness in the front of the hair. I'm combing the hair here and create a 45-degree angle. After that, I continue to cut. I cut the left side. Now I will cut the right side, guys. I pass my customer's left side while cutting the right side. I pass and hair cutting process by creating one diagonal. I make a diagonal distinction, a distinction as scanning angle. I'm scanning T and here, yes, hair up. I'm scanning towards the exit direction, and the bottom one is cut first. I cut. I see your hair point and cut it accordingly. Now here, according to the back of your hair, I created such a diagonal 1 cross distinction on the back. Create 1 cross separation from peak to nape. I made a distinction after creating the separation, combing the hair forward, and my client cut it to the left because I cut the right side, pass to the left side there. I'm scanning, so here is 1 cross, 1 scan process. I cut it at an angle of 45 degrees by creating. As you can see, I comb the hair to the front, but 45 degrees diagonal with 1 scan angle. Seeing the hair point I cut before from the bottom, I'm cutting. As you can see, I created a cross 1 scan angle, and I saw the hairline I had cut before, and I applied my cutting process. After applying the cutting process, her hair again this time. Starting from the front, end parts of the hair, I apply thinning process with the feel scissors, hereby hitting the hair, and I hit the hair completely and the front end of the hair. File scissors with 2-3 blows. I don't do my job of thinning too much, just 2-3. I'm applying scissors blow. Your hair is squeezing the hair because I hit the hair here. And scissors, that is, feel scissors. It provides 1 more natural transition with thinning processing, and more with the Burma process. A beautiful 1 transition without any trace on the hair. Makes it happen. Here, starting from the front of the hair to the back, I thin the hair piece by piece by creating horizontal searches. I scan the guinea forward and auger the auger process. After audition for hair, I bring the hair down to the ends with the feel scissors. Hair blocking is done on the ends of the hair, friends. The bottom of the hair and the middle part. Thinning is done after. Do not thin the middle of the hair according to the full length. Do not apply effigy scissors from the bottom of the hair in any way. You will definitely create a problem with hair. I do thinning operations on the ends of the hair. A more beautiful one here. We get the image. Our process is over. After the drying and shaping process. Inward, as you can see, I took 1 blow dryer with motion. Front floors are fine. Beautiful cheekbones, 1 design. Curtain bangs layered haircut. If you want to get a haircut like this, there are social media addresses in the description section of my video. By coming to my salon and making an appointment with me, you can get a haircut. Don't forget to like my video and subscribe to my channel. See you soon. Hello friends, today you have a straight haircut. Curtain bangs, aka cartoon banks. Haircut. How to design it, I will explain it in detail. We create the first basic distinctions. We will divide the hair into 4 main sections. Our distinction to the first main section is profile separation. Profile separation 2. To the distinction we have separated from the eyebrow mark to the neck. We call it straight profile separation. Later crown separation. Crown separation from ear level to other ear. The straight separation we have separated, we call the crown distinction. When we create these distinctions, we divide the hair into 4 main sections. First part, I will apply straight haircut. Hair in the first part. I create 1 horizontal distinction from the nape part. And determine the size we will cut. We will apply the first basic distinction, is straight haircut. From the back part, I created a horizontal distinction and I cut the basis of the hair chi. Right now I created a straight 1E cut here. This straight cut, then gradually upwards, creating horizontal separations. Her hair is the same size in the section where I cut it straight. I will cut, that is, the hair point we cut before as a sheath. I saw it and I cut it straight with one scissor stroke. And after equalizing that part in the same way, I'm opening the other part too. As you can see, the top. At the bottom, I combine it with the guide we cut and cut it to the same size. As you can see here, with sharpening cutting technique, that is, straight truss service. I'm creating a straight one cut. Then from behind, the long remaining part is horizontal again, one in a gradual way, by creating a distinction. I keep cutting. That is one straight line by scanning the back part backwards. Clear one cut by forming line. I'm doing it so my hair's on the back. I specify for free and create one straight cut. The right and left are the same. Scanning backwards. I'm creating a straight one cut. We have determined the basis of the hair, that is, the length of the hair. Now I'm going to part 2. After determining the length of the hair, I will apply a folding process and curtain cardamom on the front, that is, curtain bank haircut. I created a profile separation between the middle and 2 to create the hair. From 2 eyebrows, we created one distinction towards the neck, this profile distinction, and from the end of the eyebrow E, starting to the front, my B, purchase motif. I reserved the section, guys. From here in the first place, right side, I go to the left side of my customer because I cut it and the chin. I'm setting E one guide from the line. E, and from here to be mobile in the front, that is, the story. From the jaw level to stop the longest, set the shortest section. Create across one distinction. In D, I created a cut at an angle of 45 degrees. Then behind the ear, E, I created one diagonal distinction. Front of the hair, the same way you see guinea. I continue from the right part, like this part. It's like 45 degrees with the hair point I cut before. I will apply angle folding process. I scan as you can see. I lifted our customer's height slightly and his head slightly up, and the sheath from the hair point I passed before. See, and at an angle of 45 degrees, I applied the cutting process because I cut the hair in half here, starting from the top of the other back, creating one horizontal distinction. I'm creating a new cross E1, as you can see. I'm combing with the lowest hair length I've cut before. With the longest part, I set my guide and create horizontal separations gradually, combing the hair forward. And following the guidance we have set, I'm applying a folding process. Here, combing the hair forward, your hair again the way I combed it here. Crossway E, I'm scanning friends. So, to the cover we have determined on the front. So in a way, suitable for hair length. Did you drink the cut with a straight scissor blow again? Because I scanned the front here, their backs stay longer and E stays behind longer. Unfolding process when we leave it towards the back. So it's layered and it's layered. Both your hair is not gone. Here I cut the first eye step, then I cut the second piece. Guinea is also on the left. I created a purchase motif from the end line of the eyebrow to the peak. I'm scanning it diagonally again. And shortness, so I'm setting my guide. What size your hair will be at the level of your chin. I sharpened one direction and crossed one way. So diagonal 1 E angle with one cut angle of 45 degrees. I will cut. Yes, I see my guide and I scanned it diagonally. I'm cutting my client's left side late. This time, but on the right side of my client, I'm cutting by finding friends. Then from the peak E, one cross to the back of the ear. I created one diagonal distinction and one from the hair point I cut before. Cross again, seeing my guide 1. Cutting at an angle of 45 degrees with a scanning angle. Folding process. I'm creating. Here we ensure that the front parts are folded, friends. I saw my sword here, I cut it the same size. Cross the front parts to the back parts. This is the point I have reserved, friends. Now create horizontal separations. In a gradual way up to the neck. Combing forward, I will apply my cutting process. This process is hair folding. As you can see here, cross one scan angle. I created it, and from the nape part to the front part. Yes, the longest part. I take it as a guide and continue my cutting process. As you can see, I'm scanning guinea. I create horizontal Bs gradually. I'm combing the hair point I cut before. I see my guide. What does the guide mean? 1 means the hair size we cut before. I'm scanning the previous. The hair length I cut. I cut this process to the same size after seeing it. I'm applying it until I get to the section on the nape, friends. I see my guide, as you see. And I cut the sharp horse cutting technique with straight scissors service. Friends, our haircut is over. Now your hair. E, thinning your hair 3, for applying straight scissor stroke on the ends. E, I need to thin it with some effigy scissors. I'm here with a feely scissors, the ends of the hair. Pictas technique. I soften, as you can see. So by adding some E motion to the ends of the hair, I'm thinning. Get the hard look here. You know the hard look? We eliminate it with pictage technique. Such guinea by creating horizontal separations and scanning forward. As you can see in the hair spot I cut before, I apply a thinning process, right and left in the same way, separating into pieces, into slices. I apply a thinning process. You too, curtain bangs. Curtain banks. If you want to get a haircut in Beylik Düzü, you can come to my salon and get hair cutting service from me. About coloring and other hairdressing services, I can serve. I'm working by appointment. In the description of my video of the hall, the social media address is available. Reaching here as an appointment by reaching the social media address. Haircut coloring. On the subject of hairdressing services, you can create an appointment. Like my video, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel, dear friends. Thanks to you, my channel is growing day by day, and we become a bigger family. And our videos. If you want to be aware of my new videos, if you activate my channel's notification bell from my new videos, you can be informed. Our haircut is over. Now it's the last for you. I will show you after blow dry. Moving, as you can see, what we call layered one hair design curtain bangs, curtain banks. Moving hair design. I have presented our work to you. Take care to see you with new videos. I wish you a good day.
Hello friends, to you today, Bob Haircut Desig. I will explain in detail how it is done. Our model's hair is E short here, starting from the width and with a light one diagonal E angle. There will be one bob haircut model that grows slightly forward. It won't be too extreme. First, we start with basic distinctions when cutting. Our first basic distinction is profile separatio. Profile separatio. from the beginning of the forehead, starting straight as one line, until the end of the neck, E of the occipital region E, straight line to the end. We say profile separatio, creating our first profile distinctio. After creating a profile separation too, the distinction of the crown separation is also one. From ear to ear, head to the end start and end to the endo. The distinction we create, we call it crown separatio. Crown separatio, to separate our guinea comb. Guinea start from here. Get, starting from the starting point of the back, from the point it touches. As you can see, I'm starting to distinguish from this point from the exact peak point. This is already at the point where the crown separation occurs automatically, forming these distinctions the basic distinctions of hair. We divide the hair into 4 main sections. When you make these distinctions one on your next haircut, our model is the same. Perfectly. You can cut. 2. Our model is E. It will be to determine the hair length. We will separate our guide from the first nape part here, our model's head while cutting her first hair. Very little forward. We want to give bird from the enzyme part. I created one horizontal line. And now here we will create the guide of our hair. Our guide is important to us. Guide means the starting point of the hair. And continue after creating this cutoff point. The hair point we will. You can also specify shorter if you want, longer if you want, as your own preference. You can determine the length yourself with your customer. We are here, our model is fuller. For your hair to be, I will determine one shortness according to him. And we will continue in that short. Just like that. E your hair. E reverse exits here. Here in 3 parts. Reverse exits on the neck. E based E if you cut. It would be much better for you when you cut here. Then E and E when you blow dry or. So when you comb the hair. Lines here E your hair. In shaping. Provides great influence. These. It will be much better if you cut it with your eyes. I also took these exits into account. I will check and cut accordingly. Here E while cutting. Using my comb as a ruler and I cut it at an angle of 0 degrees. First I'll finger this comb 6. Sharp horse cutting technique we call one. I will apply with technique. This angle is 0 degrees. Yeah Berta yeah. You can also cut between fingers. But if you want to cut 0 degrees without any angle, so too, you definitely need to apply comb 6 hair cutting technique. Even when you cut it with a finger, you give one angle. Straight cut here. You think you did it, but even your finger. Light has 1 millimeter, one angle. You need to consider this too. Of course in wavy hair, according to the structure of the hair 100/100ths. We can't comb 6 haircuts. That's why you know straighter hair. Comb 6 according to the direction of exit of the hair. Combing. Here I cut according to the natural fall of the hair. Here using my comb like a ruler. I'm starting to conclude. I created a guide for myself from the middle part here. As you can see this guide, the left and right sides are the same. I will cut at the same level. My error rate is 0 here too, because I use my comb like a ruler. Yes too. I'm going to the stage. I'm creating one horizontal distinction in Guinea. What a thick distinction here. How thin you can cut one way, without making mistakes. When you progress gradually, hair is uniformly distributed. Either scissors nor scissors on the hair. Your rate of making mistakes is very low. Now we are giving an angle to the hair in the second level. Friends, here with my finger, I'll give you a 45-degree angle here. Horizontal 45-degree. I cut by creating an angle. To create this angle, Telugu, I scan by holding it from the bottom and, according to our guide here, we see our guide cut at the bottom. As you can see, and I touch my little finger now. The angle here is 45 degrees. It's an angle, friends. Space here. I look from here, I see my guide and our guide. A beginning of the beginning. I cut it this size after seeing it. Here's a little bit of the nape of the hair. We are doing a folding process. This is your hair is more stingy fuller and and this. An expression we call bomb. To create it, A technical friend we applied. Combing the hair at its own angle. Looking down with my finger. I'm worth it after seeing this angle. I cut with sharp horse cutting technique. Here you are progressing gradually. I cut one from the right section. Now I will cut from the left sectio. Same way. I see my sword as you see from the bottom again, and I'm looking from the neck. I'm cutting. Because we made an angle cut here. We'll check again later, guys. After cutting, there may be slight lengths on the right and left. Repeat it. Use it as a ruler with a comb and a guy. I'm cutting. Now we are entering our third distinction, guinea horizontal. We make a distinctio. We will create one vertical distinction from the middle part a guy. I always start from the middle part, friends, haircut, because this is my guide. We distribute our guide evenly. And here we are, because we are progressing gradually. Our rate of making mistakes is very low. My finger a guy. I touch it from the bottom and cut 45 holes horizontally. After creating, with sharp horse cutting technique, I'm cutting. I'm scanning. Here I see my guide from the bottom of it. Guide is very important, guys. You see with the guide here, I see the hair point I passed before like. My guide from here, I see my guide at the bottom. And your hair according to this guide. Scanning by direction of fall. I see my sword and I continue with the cut. I will do this in the same way on the right side. Head of our model. Thought after setting. Always while cutting hair here. With our model, we need to be on the same plane. We need to look in the same directio. I'm scanning. I see my guide from the bottom here. As you can see, this is also while cutting hair. If you get as much hair as your finger again, your rate of making mistakes will be very low. I'm scanning after seeing my guide. And I see my guide here from that Virgo point. And after seeing our guide below, again at an angle of 45 TL, I'm cutting. Now friends 3. After cutting our territory, we have passed the occipital regio. Here E. After opening the ledge, we have come to the top. In the E section here, we will add a little more volume to the hair. And E, we will apply a folding process. Here E, your hair. Both busy and E. To give a more beautiful one look, we also change our angle. Here we are applying horizontal 45 hole angles. When we get to this top, we will continue our haircut with vertical 45 hole angles. We give the head of our model forward light. Here we create one vertical distinctio. From the neck again, after creating our separatio, we take guide. According to this guide one, we will create a haircut. Yes, friends, as you can see, E at the bottom of our previous cut. To the occipital area, we applied horizontal 45-degree angles. Now after moving to the occipital area, we continue our cutting with vertical 45-degree angles. Here is our guide E to the exit direction of the hair. While scanning here, hair my comb. E I place it at the bottom and, without playing it the way I placed it, I comb and here we see the direction of the hair coming out. After scanning this, after seeing our guide, creating a straight 45-degree angle, we continue our cut. As you can see here, I created a 45-degree angle. OT too many floors above, and lighter below one. E-arc formed. As you can see here, one light texture. So from the inside out one, we have done the folding process. Here E, we will cut the hair slice by slice with the technique of slicing. First slice, second slice. 3 as slice. Even for in my tongue. We will cut it on my tongue. I'm touching my comb. Here I see the stone point I cut before one. As you see my guide, we always follow our guide. And from the inside out, with the sharpening cutting technique, that is, with the straight scissors free, we continue our cut here. 90 degrees towards the exit direction of the hair one. I cut it at an angle of 45 degrees. When I quit because I cut it. Lightweight. We create one haircut with curved and textured. One slice from the hair point we passed before. We take parts. He is our guide. Al for the front to be slightly long. Guinea this piece. A little further back, not according to the direction of hair exit. I will cut by scanning correctly. The previous guide. Compatible. I see my guide here. I'm catching a 45 TL angle. And I continue to cut. I'm scanning the same way a guy. 45 degrees by diagonal, one distinction from the bottom. I cut the right side now. I will go to the left side. Same way a guy. This is now so 5 minutes 10:10. It's a 15-minute job, but let's cut it off by telling, huh? Ha, thank you. Writing yes. A guy. One, I get it from the hair point, one cut before. As the second. I touch my comb on the skin of the hair and comb. I scan, and after seeing my guide at the bottom, I see a 45-degree angle. Here is the previous hair point, as you can see here. This is our guide, our starting point. This is our end point. As you can see, this hair on this line, we combine in the same way. Thanks from below. Now the process of folding this vertex. We applied the texture. Now on the side. This diagonal by creating one distinctio. And slightly cross so diagonal one view. Cross to get one view. To achieve one hair design that grows forward. We go to the side. From this starting point, I create a diagonal one downwards. So I create a cross one distinction downwards. Horizontal a guy. Like the head of our model. Back and to the side. We give. Out here. Important factor. Hair. That's right ear. To come behind. Separating. Part from the bottom part from the top one way. Why am I doing this here? Friends, the ear bulge here. When I cut it properly one way. If I cut this ear bulge directly from the top like this. What would happen when I blow dry or when our customer uses it? One trapezoid will appear here. Could be. Because you have to adjust this angle accordingly. First from the back. Combing according to the direction of hair fall. We will determine our line, that is, we will determine our guide. Here's our comb guy. From a starting point here. We adjust according to the end point. This is how we tilt the head of our model to the side. Because when we give the angle here, we can work comfortably. Yes, as you can see here, light one downwards. Cross one angle formed, guys. The angle here is a 45-degree angle to the guinea. Creating this angle. And so from the starting point here, by the end point, we will continue here. We use our comb like a ruler. And you get one view that stretches slightly forward here. We will do the same on the right guy. As you can see from the bottom of the hair, I lift up. I'm scanning down. A cross separation from the starting point here. I cut the hair at an angle of 45 degrees. I comb the hair according to the fall of the hair. I'm scanning down. I'm creating one arc downwards, as you can see. And I keep cutting. Hair here. Using my comb as a ruler, we get one view that extends slightly forward. We're at the top, guys. The guinea on the hill is the same, and bulky and plump to get one look. This time again towards the exit direction of the hair. We will get one view that stretches forward at 45 degrees. Yes. Berta, yes. Friends, to get one heart stretching forward. Here is stage 1, second stage, and third stage 3. We will cut the top part of the step. Here we cut hair by combining. I touch my hair comb to the bottom of the hair and the exit directio. Scanning at a 90-degree angle. I'm scanning upwards. And here is the finger. As you can see my hand forming a 45-degree angle. In a 45 here, I'm creating a 90-degree angle. 90 degrees according to the place of hair. I also cut it at an angle of 45 degrees as a cut. Here we see our sword. OT the same way. We touch our comb of hair to the bottom of the hair here. E to make a flatter one E cut. And to determine the direction of output. Here is the direction of the hair. Your hair is not up and down. From the point our comb touched. Clear comb to adjust the output directio. We touch down. And we scan upwards. And in the process after this SCA, we see our guide as you see. The point we cut before. 90 degrees according to the direction of hair output, 90 degrees. 45 degrees as cut. Here is one angle of 45 degrees. Upwards. I'm cutting. I'm touching my comb according to the exit directio. I create one angle of 90 degrees. And after seeing our guide, 45 degrees 1. Inity 8 forming angle for 5-1. I'm applying a haircut. Out here guinea. E we will create one horizontal distinctio. After creating this horizontal separatio, according to the direction of hair, at an angle of 45 degrees, we will get one view that stretches forward. Friends, starting from the top, I'm creating one vertical distinction a guy. Here, so I cut the first stage. I'm taking the second stage. I'm leaving a section here. I take our customer's head upright. And from here, when I get my guide from the point I cut before. You always need to get the guide, guys. If you proceed according to the guide, you never make mistakes. Touching my comb, and I scan upwards. I create a 90-degree angle according to the exit directio. And here, after seeing my cover, I'm creating a 45-degree angle, as you can see. 90-degree to 45-degree. And I get one piece here. From the point I cut again, and I give our customer's head backwards. I'm scanning here, after touching it upwards. I see my guide, and at a 45-degree angle, I continue. Same guinea after cutting here. Starting with that joke girl one. We make the distinction, guys. And this month's episode is the same. Here 3 levels, 1, 2, 3, here 3 levels. 1 to 3, so we will cut them all into 3 sections. I'm scanning here. Here per our customer, per our hand model. We touch our comb, we comb upwards. And after seeing our guide, 45, we create a degree angle, 90-degree to 45-degree. We cut. I cut the first stage and bought one piece here. This will be my guide. And I'm taking part 2. I'm scanning. I see my guide from the beginning, and I cut it. And I get one piece here. I create a 90-degree angle according to the output of the hair. And from here I see my guide and cut it. Yes, from Guinea Hill. I'm creating a vertical separation. I'm touching here. I'm scanning. You see, I saw my guide like, and in accordance with my guide, I'm cutting. I'm buying one piece here. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. I'm touching, I'm scanning upwards. He's not his head like that, yeah. After adjusting the shower posture angle, I'm scanning upwards. As you can see, I saw our guide, and guide. I cut it appropriately at a 45-degree angle. I'm buying one piece here too. As the last stage, Again in this lower part and what we call our sweeping technique. I comb your hair in accordance with the natural direction of fall. The head of our model. I give it sideways. Starting from the nape part a guy. I'm scanning. As you can see, I have a guide here, conveniently extending slightly downwards. To get a look from short to long one view. Yes. I also apply the link. Bird. Guinea, the part we cut on the left, is the same way. We will apply it on the right side. I comb the hair according to its natural directio. We created the distinction here. The head of our customer's model. I'm setting. Taking into account the ear bulge over there. You can do it like this. If you want, you can cut it when you cut it like this. When you cut between fingers, make sure the ledge here. You have to take it into account that we cut it by touching it. Let's stop like this. I'm going to have a fight. It's over. Yes, friends, our model is like this, you see. Like the back. Layered curved forward extending. One hair desig. Bob haircut, our bob haircut design that stretches forward.
Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today, we're tackling something pretty fascinating, I think. We're diving into this very detailed source about what it calls a triple combination haircut.
Right?
And the mission, really, is to figure out how stylists manage to blend three, quite different styles, a sharp, straight base, those really popular curtain bangs, and then soft layers all into one, seamless look.
It's a real technical dance, isn't it? And for you listening, the idea isn't just memorizing steps. It's about getting the why. Why that angle? Why that section?
Yeah, exactly.
We're basically looking at the roadmap, the specific geometry that turns these style ideas into something, well, real and structured.
Okay, let's jump right in then, because it seems like the whole thing kicks off not with cutting hair, but with setting up the head first. It talks about creating 4 mirror sections. What's that initial setup? Is it like mapping coordinates?
That's a great way to put it, actually. Yes, it's pure geometry, all about symmetry and control. Use 2 man partings. think longitude and latitude on a map. First, there's the profile parting. That's your longitude, running straight from the forehead center all the way down the back to the nape.
Forehead to nape, got it.
Then you have the crown parting. That's your latitude line, ear to ear, straight across the top of the head.
Good.
And where those two lines cross, boom, you've divided the head into 4 neat, balanced sections. These are your guides for everything that follows.
Love the map analogy. So maps down. Phase 1, the straight foundation, establishing the kind of the anchor length, starts in the back.
Precisely. You take horizontal sections there in the back, and that very first section you cut, usually the lowest one, that becomes your main guideline.
The reference point.
Exactly. The reference point for the length the client wants. And you can't really change that base length later once you start layering, so that first cut is, well, it's pretty critical.
And the source is specific about how you cut this. It calls for the blunt cutting technique. Why so specific? Why not something, I don't know, softer?
Good question. You need that structural integrity for the base, that perfect straight line. A blunt cut, just straight, clean scissor strokes gives you that.
Okay.
If you tried, say, an angled cut or texturizing here, you'd weaken that foundation. And the movement we add later, it wouldn't sit right. It might look sort of frayed at the bottom, not clean.
Right, okay. But here's something that tripped me up a bit. If the goal is one straight line, why does the source say to cut the back in like multiple small steps? Isn't that layering even a tiny bit? Doesn't that contradict the straight foundation idea?
That's about managing the hair, not really traditional layering. It's more about weight distribution. You cut in manageable sections, maybe 3, 4, sometimes more if the hair is really thick to control how the hair falls.
So I just grabbed a big chunk of thick hair and tried to cut it straight across all at once.